dun dun. Do do do. They on the bitches, they know the skinny bitches, they don't wanna get the ditches, they wanna back, they move it. Get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head, I'm used, bitch. Get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head, I'm used, bitch. Get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head, I'm used, bitch. Get out my head, get out my head, get out my head. Na 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 na. Na 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 na, tish. Da na na na. Da na da da na na, tish tish. Da na na na. I go change over the library. Why do we keep seeing this weird fucking titling on the Steam page? It's weird. together. Boo. Hello, Blood Wolf. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day to be niggas. Would you be mine? Can you roll me slime? Do 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 do. A beautiful day to hatch a beat, a beautiful day to catch some streams. Can you be mine? This shit's divine. Mine. Now you need to know. Can you be, or me, could you be, my nigga, could you be, my niggas? Oh. The newborns, Path of Exile before I go into Once Human today. And let's begin. Let's just begin. And let's begin with a bang. Because the next one basically is going to require us to go through some logs that I've had prepared.
Oh, sorry. Did I say Jeffrey Epstein? I meant Xanderhaul. Sorry.
But Demon Mama revealed, claimed and alleged that Xanderhaul was abusive of his ex-editor Cherry and also didn't pay her final invoice for services rendered.
I need you to just put that aside for a second and recognize that between Cherry and Xan, what happened was wrong. It was disgusting. Other people have information, and the group of the debaters would work a lot more than easy.
And they put me in a position where I pretty much have to nuke all my online presence because I can't clear my name. Xanderhaul has been like excised from the Lefty Clubhouse, right? Do you remember this? Well, I saw this, and I don't know, dude. I just kind of wanted to show it to you all. So, we've obviously got here the video. So first of all, I'm going to play this video. So this was Demon Mama responding to Xanderhaul, okay?
This is a guy who's talking about this war, this situation. He's looking over documents, signing things, talking to world leaders, and the guy mixed up two names in a relevant conflict. There are two guys fighting, Zelensky and Putin, and he mixed up their names. You know, whenever I was talking about...
You know, the thing that Jeffrey Epstein doesn't recognize that he's doing here, as Epstein is ranting and raving on his screen, the thing he doesn't realize is that... Oh, sorry, did I say Jeffrey Epstein? I meant Xanderhaul. Sorry. Woo! Good thing I corrected myself immediately.
There's a guy who's talking about this war.
I mean, you know, it's a little bit, it's quite funny. It's quite funny. That's quite funny. See? You guys fucking berate me because I used to knock about with him a long time ago. I think it'd be pretty funny. I don't know. Stuff like that is funny. Anyway, welcome to Chud Nation.
I have to say that kind of like the most boring shit. But the logs of what Xanderhaul's done are egregious and hilarious and should be looked into. Because why not? Because why not? Because realistically, at the end of the day, the thing that I can notice from this situation that is most important is the first bit. Being excised from the Lefty Clubhouse, that's no bueno when you are Twitch, bro. When you are Twitch debate, bro, getting excised from the left means you no longer have platform. Could blood look into the solely known views. They're probably not good. But boy, oh boy. Another case of leftist infighting. Will they ever go away? Will it ever stop? Nobody knows. We chat. We will persevere.
I can't do this just yet.
Because here in the Carl Nation, we believe in cash and ass. In cash and ass do we provide. Because we ain't got none, but we be getting some. Kappa. Kappa, Kappa. Gabba. Yo, Gabba, Gabba. Boom. Jason Animosity.
Thank you for the sub. Oh, I forgot to switch to digital. Thank you very much for the sub. Not that funny. You guys are coping. You guys are coping. You guys are fucking coping. You can't handle it. Anyway, the basic point, right? We see what Demon Mama's doing now, right? Very simple, very straightforward. You know, you're saying it's no big deal to mix up people's names, but it is a big deal to mix up people's names when it's like going to be incredibly like, offensive to the person involved, whatever, right? Anyway, let's see how Xanderhaul reacted to that, shall we? Let's see how Xanderhaul responded.
Are you sure about that one?
Dan doesn't have anything against you. She was more confused than anything else. I mean, she compared me to Epstein, dog. Like, you can say that. You can try to like say, oh, but Xan, you should like grovel and try to get the bridge rebuilt. But like, she compared me to Epstein. It's very clear that like, there's no.
Do you have sexual dalliances against people? No. The problem is that you don't know how to talk about people and you're getting confused on stuff that realistically none of you should be talking about. None of you are qualified to talk about politics. And every single time you guys try to, you demonstrate a white person's presentation of that political slide. You care too much about the things that you shouldn't care about and not enough about the things that you should care about. And you get too big for your britches.
My spirit is spent.
Too big for your britches. You can't handle the position that you put yourselves in when you put yourself there. You don't like the fact that they clipped you saying that? Maybe you don't do political content, Xanderhaul. Oh wait, that's right, Alexander. You have to do the political content. That's how you were created. You were transformed from a person who basically got bullied for not doing well enough. You were basically Brian Mullins the Fox, bro. Not a good look, bro. Pretty embarrassing, bro.
Try to make it to the end this time.
Pretty embarrassing.
No, there's no mending that. Mind you, I didn't burn these bridges. I burned the Keppel's Bridge. I nuked. I orbital striked the Keppel's Bridge. And never have I been proven more correct after getting so much shit than orbital striking the Keppel's Bridge. Good God.
Good for you. Still a dumbass.
Bro, what is he on about? I was, you know, if you're scratching your head thinking, what does he mean? That wasn't a comparison to Epstein. It was making a point that using the wrong name can be offensive. And if anything, you've proven the point even more. Because you are upset by this. You're saying you got compared to someone. Well, with that logic, Biden compared Zelensky to Putin, which would be a horrendous comparison for him. But if you are a bit confused as to why this might happen, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. It will be explained with one image. Hoping that, you know, gonna let you know what's going on there, you know? There we go. That kind of fills you in a little bit to what's going on, you know, behind the eyes. Midwit, total midwit. Oh my god, midwit. That's such a good word to describe Xanderhaul. He is a total fucking midwit. The fact that he fucking has his take on that thing is insane. Anyway, they showed another clip as well. This Willow the Wisp person, I think it's some flavour of trans insanity. Anyway.
Something you might have noticed is that since the Keppel's drama, when anyone in this like online lefties, honestly, it probably predates the Keppel's drama. I just know that was a really, that was like a very egregious example. It's always like here's a very clipped segment of Xan, and then like a bunch of insults on top of that. Like the clip might look bad out of context, but then it's just like a bunch of random insults.
Yep, that's the world you created. Fucking take that bed and line it, bitch.
I've seen some clips of Demon Mama's stream she did on me, and it seems like it's a lot of like insults and personal attacks. So it's just like, it just seems like
you know these people personally. You're all incestuous with your careers with each other. Shut the fuck up.
A pretty clear case of projection. Where something you might...
It's projection to describe the things you guys are doing. That's weird.
That whole like lefty arena is just fucked now. You got Vosh with his lolicon horse lust. Like that whole thing just seems to have crumbled, and now they're like scrapping and fighting each other. So I'm just like, fucking hell, like what a disaster.
True.
You know, they were like that whole group was kind of flourishing for a while, but now it's just
flourishing is a hard word to use it. If you completely use everything as content, and you view all of that content as entertainment, edutainment, to be had and desired, there is a world where you can come to that position and say, yeah, maybe. But it's still on the backs of all of them attacking each other and basically clamoring for the limelight. It's the Kenan and Kel scene from the fucking Kenan and Kel movie. I want to pump the gas. I want to pump the gas. I want to pump the gas. I want to be the one to get the money. I want to be the one to get clicks. I need to be the one to get subs. I need the subs.
I can't do this just yet.
Everything from give me money because I'm a trans girl, to give me money because I'm a trans boy, to give me money because I'm a trans post-op girl, to give me money because I'm a trans post-op boy, to give me money I'm being harassed by Kiwi Farms, and it was a lie. Give me money I'm being antagonized by people who I've actively stalked and antagonized. Every single step of the way, every single behavior is, I need help, but I'm also super safe, but also I'm at risk, but also... Never ends. It's a never-ending fucking cope sealer. Why would people believe that any of these people are in pain or triumphing when really it's just they go unseen until people hear about their drama, like right now, and then when it gets covered, suddenly they act as though this is just a small little gay little community that's being attacked by evil Nazi bigots, because Nazism is when you disagree. It's ultimately cut shit, for certain, for sure. It exists in the sphere where it will always be permanently cut shit, but you know, laugh at it. Treat it as a game. It's a game. People should laugh. You should be embarrassed by the shit that's being laughed about, but you should laugh. It's the most useless fucking thing to do. But that's what they made their content off of. That's the facilitation of what they said was what they wanted to do for content. And now that's the content cycle that they're committed to. They get monetized by anybody who knows a little bit or is willing to do a little bit about it. And boy, it's come time to milk some cows, boys. It's come time to milk some cows.
Can you get that through? You know, wah 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 wah. That sort of mentality. Left-wing degeneracy. True. The absolute state of virtue. Very true. Yeah, and you know, the progressive victory stuff, I mean, dude, that all seems to have fucking crumbled, doesn't it? The most prominent people are fucking Xanderhaul and Vosh now. They're the ones who put in your fucking videos. Basically, as you may know, there's a lot of political stuff going on at the moment. Long story short, Xanderhaul was being critical of Vosh because Vosh was saying that Biden should drop out. And Xanderhaul disagreed, he was a little Biden shill. And it was a Biden shield, even as the mainstream press was reporting that the Democrats are having internal strife about whether or not Biden should drop out. Watch was pushing this line, Xanderhaul didn't like it. Xanderhaul kind of insinuated maybe watching the grifter, and he was drifting off of this, and didn't really want, wasn't presenting the true, correct take on the situation. But he said he would debate him.
I mean, the problem would be, he's correct, he's a grifter, but so is Alexander. And Kaczynski is a grifter through and through. He only is platformed because of somebody else. Getting past that and getting to the matter of hand, no, in this political diatribe, Biden should drop out. Because it's obvious, it's Jover. It's very obvious to everyone involved that it's Jover. Wanting to cope about this like he's a fucking Biden or bust bro, as though he's reverted back to being a Bernie bro, is... I don't know what else to say. Like, bro, it's not happening. Pack it in, give up.
I can't do this just yet.
You ain't getting no hug. Oh, I can't jump that? Come on. Why can't I jump that? Let me frost blink it. But there's no world where it's not gonna look embarrassing for him. Like, it's gonna be embarrassing. It's gonna be made to be embarrassing. He's going to be at the consequence. Because there's no way that his take is even close to salient or intelligent. It's just not a cogent strategy. Mind you, I'm not a political streamer. I don't need to care about these things. But the fucking proof was in the pudding of the water. All these fucking takes about Kamala Harris, they're going to push Kamala. They do not want Joe, because he's done. He is a pathetic fucking embarrassment to the Democratic establishment. Any person who wants to have establishment power is not going to go through Joe Biden. Because there's no guarantee that he will even be sane enough to make those calls. His wife Jill might be. Jill might be a part of that. Wouldn't that be a case towards the establishment? Like, DJ Moore won. Like, that ass. Jack is 100% correct. Like, he won. Like, people might not like that whole thing, but DJ Mill exposing all that shit with his details and news, and then people crowding around Zan, same ones, in Zan's shit. And mind you, when we get into the logs, you're gonna see the same level of money mismanagement that he accused his ex of stealing from him for the money that he had for Cherry TV, the editor that almost all these lefties all use. Get up, Miss Spiders. Get up, Miss Spiders. It's an embarrassment no matter how you look at it. Because even if you want to use the same lens to judge Vosh, and trust me, there's plenty of things the entire internet can judge Vosh for. At the end of the day, he's just as embarrassing. He's just as embarrassing.
Now, Vosh responded in a kind of disinterested way on his stream, and essentially said, well, he's, grifting drama off this, I'm not interested in talking to someone that's going to do that. And yeah, he just seemed like extremely dismissive, considering that they're friends. Like, you're supposed to be friends, and you're not willing to talk to the guy at all, to kind of hash your differences out. So yeah, they, just wanted to be like, yeah, he's grifting drama like this. Xander wasn't responding to that, and was obviously bothered, and was calling the grifter back, so to speak. Anyway, Biden eventually ended up dropping out, right? Which I think everyone who was half a brain could see the writing was on the wall, especially when George Clooney came out and started talking about it, all this other stuff. Anyway, without getting into politics of it. So then, Xanderhaul, in a very bitter, spiteful fashion, went on his stream and was like, well, I kind of, I will vote for Kamala, but if Trump won, I kind of like that, I think this is the right fashion. I'm paraphrasing a bit, right? But the long and short of it was basically saying, like, well, if Trump wins, I'll be proven right about Biden, which is obviously another stupid take, because there's no hard line that Biden was going to win against Trump. I mean, it was very fractious, even within the Democrats. Anyway, Dima Mama gets involved at this point, and also jumps in and starts mocking Xanderhaul. And a clip I played yesterday, you saw it, because Xanderhaul was defending Biden for getting Zelensky's name wrong and saying Putin instead. And Dima Mama made this joke, which was actually quite funny, saying like, oh, yeah, well, what Jeffrey Epstein said, sorry, I didn't get Xanderhaul, which Xanderhaul then got upset about, and bothered about, which just proved the point more, if anything. But yeah, it's annoying to have your name mixed up with someone terrible. So anyway, this has developed further now. Like, why am I talking about this? Who cares about all this? It's stupid politics stuff, I get it, right? But it's now developed further once again. And Dima Mama spoke about this on stream, and spoke about Xanderhaul at length. We're going to watch some of this. But Dima Mama revealed and claimed and alleged that Xanderhaul was abusive of his ex-editor Cherry, and also didn't pay her final invoice for services rendered for some reason. Cherry is like a RedTube editor who worked with multiple people, one of them being Xanderhaul, okay? So yeah, and this is all wrapped up in the old Xanderhaul's Kettle drama and stuff like that. But yeah, Dima Mama dropped this bombshell. Oh, Xanderhaul had been abusive to this ex-editor, right? So, in any case, I thought we'd have a little look at it. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't the high stakes drama going. I mean, there's not that much going on at the moment apart from the Chris Tyson stuff. That's what it's kind of funny. There's like there's been this disagreement about this Biden take.
True.
And now Xanderhaul's getting exposed for being mean to his ex-editor.
True. And that's funny how that works, right? There's a word for this, but we're not going to name it. All you need to notice is that he tries to talk shit about the person who made him, one of the kinds of people who made him. Who knows who it was that specifically bullied, formerly, what was his fucking name? I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. I'd have to go to fucking Dr. Rammerkam's channel and look it up. But he goes from his old identity to Xanderhaul once he converts fully into a lefties. And he embarrasses himself in such a way where his entire existence becomes, I hate people. Pig Puncher, that's what it was, Pig Puncher. He goes from Pig Puncher to Xanderhaul, and he's still getting his shit pushed in, permanently. Because his opinion effectively comes from the people who made him, and without them to give him an opinion to follow, he has nothing to say of meaning or a note. It's not shocking, it's not surprising, but it should definitely be embarrassing and a fucking mark to all the other people to take notice on.
You know, something which lefties are not going to like, you know? Working class, nothing to lose but your chains, all this business. Yeah, Marx, Lenin, right? Remember what happened to Hassan? Hassan got heavily criticised for not treating his editor well a few years ago now. So anyway, okay, that's a joke. Thank you for the 333.
Please explain the cherries.
Now, I've got a bit of a problem though, guys, okay? Demon Mama's content is kind of not pleasant to watch for reasons, okay? So, I don't know how we're going to do this, dude. Let's start here, I guess. Christopher Nark tweeted out a clip. Let's start here and see how we go. So this is Gayfesh, who you probably don't know is a total and utter mouth-breathing fucking cocksucker, literal cocksucker of the breadtube types. I can't believe Xanderhaul refused to pay his editor for the last month of work for him after he verbally abused her so much she quit. Hashtag pay up Xanderhaul. What is this fucking hashtag, bro? As if you're gonna get enough people tweeting about this issue to cause a fucking stir. Dude, this is total shitter drama. Xanderhaul's a total freak loser. No one watches him anymore.
So moment.
Hashtag time's up, Xan. Anyway, apparently there's loads of funny stuff in this stream, but I don't know where it is, and I don't want to have to dig through it. Anyway, after he verbally pleasant to watch for a number of reasons, okay? So I don't know how we're gonna do this, dude. Let's start here, I guess. Christopher Nark tweeted out a clip. Let's start here and see how we go. So this is Gayfesh, who you probably don't know is a total and utter mouth-breathing fucking cocksucker, literal cocksucker of the breadtube types.
True.
I can't believe Xanderhaul refused to pay his editor for the last month of work for him after he verbally abused her so much she quit. Hashtag pay up Xanderhaul. What is this fucking hashtag, bro? As if you're gonna get enough people tweeting about this issue to cause a fucking stir. Dude, this is total shitter drama. Xanderhaul's a total freak loser. No one watches him anymore.
Spirit is spent.
Hashtag time's up, Xan. Anyway, apparently there's loads of funny stuff in the stream, but I don't know where it is. I don't want to have to dig through it. Anyway, check this out.
I talked to Cherry and have permission to talk about this. Xanderhaul repeatedly exploded on Cherry, threatened Cherry, berated Cherry in both voice and chat. It was like weeks of Xan just absolutely blowing up, completely unhinged, screaming at Cherry. Who, by the way, let me just for the record, Cherry was doing almost all of the work for for Xan's channel. Cherry did nearly everything. All of the editing, thumbnailing, stream prep. Xan just turned on the camera and did what was given him.
How does that work? How do you do all the stream prep as a fucking editor? Your job is to take the clips from the fucking stream and turn those into something. Why are you doing all that? At that point, would that not just be you working on a channel? If so, it gives more credence to your claim, I suppose. At the same time, I would question why you don't just walk the fuck away. Guess you eventually chose to, but very long way to go about doing that in that particular capacity, bruh. Very, 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 very dumb, bruh. My opinion, bruh.
What?
And also, keep in mind that Cherry would also take care of huge parts of things in his life. Cherry helped facilitate the move. Cherry helped facilitate all of his life finances. Cherry helped facilitate basically everything. Cherry was a best friend and the heart and soul of Xanderhaul's channel, and he treated her like fucking shit. And I know that some people out there have their own conflicts with Cherry, but for a second and recognize that between Cherry and Xan, what happened was fucking wrong. It was disgusting. And I told him that at the time.
Freddy Woods became a member. Freddy Woods celebrates 4 months of membership. Demon Mama is writing a nasty letter to Xanderhaul's mom.
Thank you for the super chat. Okay, I found the beginning. Okay, here we go. Right, this is the final hurrah. This is the final gambit, okay?
It feels like people already know, but I don't. I talked to Cherry and have permission to talk about this. Xanderhaul repeatedly exploded on Cherry, threatened Cherry, berated Cherry in both voice and chat. It was like weeks of Xan just absolutely blowing up, completely unhinged, screaming at Cherry. Who, by the way, let me just for the record, Cherry was doing almost all of the work for Xan's channel. Cherry did nearly everything. All of the editing, thumbnailing, stream prep. Xan just turned on the camera and did what was given him. And also, keep in mind that Cherry would also take care of huge parts of things in his life. Cherry helped facilitate the move. Cherry helped facilitate all of his life finances. Cherry helped facilitate basically everything. Cherry was a best friend.
That's a very big claim. Do you have? I hope there's claims. There's proof of that in the logs.
And the heart and soul of Xanderhaul's channel, and he treated her like fucking shit. And I know that.
Now the heart and soul part was probably true, simply because Since they all use the same editors, they're all working with the same people, and thus all talking to the same people, which is why this incestuous bunch always pop up in the fucking news drama. They basically bring each other up by bootstraps.
Some people out there have their own conflicts with Cherry, but I need you to just put that aside for a second and recognize that between Cherry and Xan, what happened was fucking wrong. It was disgusting, and I told him that at the
Translation. Between these two people, protect her, fuck him.
time, and he threatened to burn me over it. And he went,
Oh.
and I wasn't the only one, I should say. Here's the thread. Okay.
Oh, we go. What
We'll
thread?
back to Zan's response, but here's the thread, just so you guys
Here we
know.
go, here we
I'm
go.
not making this up. Okay? December 28th, 2023.
Oh, bro. This links into the stuff that we talked about back then. Do you remember? We spoke about this. Back when Xanderhaul and Keffals were fighting, and this came up. Just a quick summary and reminder. Basically, Xanderhaul and Keffals were beefing.
There's something on my desk. And I found it.
I spend far too much time here.
Water damage, not even once. Paranoia strikes again.
At the time, okay? And what Xanderhaul wanted to do in the course of their beef, which involved Seanhead, basically, Xanderhaul was bothered because at the time Seanhead and Keffals were friendly, and Seanhead had made a video critical of the Balenciaga stuff and had criticised Xanderhaul. And because of this, Xanderhaul was like going to war with Keffals over it, and Keffals was still in with all the lefties at the time. And basically there was a backwards and forwards. And Keffals did a stream in response to this because Xanderhaul retweeted a tweet that had referenced the fact, an allegation against Keffals, and Keffals responded by starting a stream up called I Was Graped, where Keffals laid out that apparently they'd been assaulted by their ex, and that was the true reason that they left, and it was not to do with Kiwi Farts. And then Xanderhaul wanted to respond with that with Cherry leaks, because remember, Cherry was one of the people that came forward that gave some of the leaks that damaged Keffals from the Mutahar video. And at the time, Xanderhaul wanted to release those leaks then, but Cherry was concerned and didn't want to actually leak it. And Xanderhaul was putting a lot of pressure on. And White Nervosa had to step in and basically hold Xanderhaul's website, because Xanderhaul was on the White Nervosa platform, White Forest, and was like, see your website? No, stop now, or the website goes. And so
Which basically demonstrates that that is exactly why people castigated, and why even Dev made a video about White Nervosa and White Forest, and why the majority of people who are part of the Destiny.dg fork, White Forest, are very much the footstools of Vosh, and are held together by the only tight tenuous bonds that if they don't do what the collective wants, they don't get to be platformed anymore. And that right there shows you how dead and ignorant that behavior is. I don't know what else to call that. That's clearly manipulation at a distance. For how much money these people have pulled in over the years, there's no reason they can be able to find a different hoster or a different system to host their websites. The only reason they do it is because of that incestuous bond where all of them benefit off the backs of each other. They act as each other's streaming waiting rooms, they act as content platforms with each other, they monetize drama off of each other. It's an incestuous, dysfunctional family, but there is no familial bonds that tie them together. It's all just fucking money grubbing all the way down.
A timely infusion.
Have you?
I'd like to say how horrible, but is it really? Are you shocked? Are you surprised? Shouldn't be.
and the weather back down, basically. Oh my god, dude, it's so crazy. I remember covering that. Anyway, that's where this stuff comes from. And this, presumably, there's more behind-the-scenes stuff that happened that we didn't see of Xanderhaul blowing up and going crazy and shit.
Nervosa. Thank you very much, White Nervosa. I really appreciate that. I do quite dislike drama, but we're here. Xanderhaul's emotional manipulation and outright abuse are the reason I got directly involved. I frankly do not care and have described the situation as two retards fighting. That's a quote. After causing multiple emotional breakdowns, allow me. Zan's apology stream was an hour of the Shu drama to establish he's a victim. He says staying friends with Shu isn't a problem. The problem is the flippant disregard for what Shu did. He never shows where Keffals actually did this. Xanderhaul tried to get permission to leak someone else's DMs between them and Keffals. They said no. He proceeded to emotionally abuse and manipulate them, and they had multiple breakdowns. I was witness to this. This is why, again, this behavior, in addition to a couple of other things that happened at the time, is why I haven't talked to Zan, or about Zan, in months.
Oh.
Here's a question that you have to defend. Should Cherry be trying to play half in, half out? Why are you only willing to show DMs to Mutahar, but when it comes time to show them anywhere else, you want to withhold them? That seems like I want to be involved in the drama only as long as I don't have to directly be in the drama, which is that's gay. There's no other word for that. That's gay. That's a fear of being perceived, and if you're scared of being perceived, stay in your lane. Be an editor. Don't try to be a part of the fucking circus. Be an editor. Stay in your place. Because if you try to be anything more than an editor, then it actually gives credence to his claim. Why would you give that to him and not to him? You're already linking logs. Might as well. You might as well. Only reason for you not to is because you knew what you were doing was wrong. And you knew that he had an argument for it, you just didn't want to help. Of course, all of that's gay, so...
Oh, hello.
I raised the issue with Whiteboard, and then we possibly drop him if he did not get consent to release those. He justifies saying they were a complicit asshole.
Yeah, at the time I said, as much as I thought that was a little retard, it's like, on what planet are you doing business with White Nevosa if you're from the outside looking in? You know, there was a time that White Nevosa cut off Rose's website because Rose was edited Destiny Manifesto about Keppels, and it was like...
Yes! Hashtag free rose wrists!
Oh, but you don't use the website that much, so what does it matter? And it's like, well, that may be, but you still cut the website off for political reasons, that's absurd. And then there's this situation too, where White Nevosa was essentially hanging that over Xanderhaul's head. It would just be a total mistake and total disaster to work with White Nevosa on a website, knowing that if push came to shove, they'd hold that over you, you know?
By the way, who he was calling a complicit asshole was someone very close to him that was trying desperately to seek his help in a stressful situation. He says that that's blackmail, and that's what he means. He accused multiple people of blackmail. By the way, this incident right here, this point right here is where I was present for the conversation, and this is where my opinion was sought. And I told him that he's out of line. I told him it was insane to say that he was being blackmailed. I told him that he was out of line, that he needed to stop, that he was damaging his own...
He's not being blackmailed when somebody holds his website against him. That's not blackmail to use something called duress. Okay, Demon Mama. We now know your opinion on rape. Thank you for that. We also know your opinion on telling your partner whether or not you're trans. We now know your opinion on that.
Own future, his own channel, his own relationship, then he needed to take a breather, log off, go outside, get some perspective.
soon enough.
I thought Cherry and Zan broke up before this happened. No, this was the event, I think, that sealed the fate of that relationship, I believe.
That none of us were trying to hurt him, that no one was against him, but that he was freaking out and hurting the people around him and being way out of line. And that's when he told our mutual friend that he was going to burn us. This looks spot right here.
Yo! Give us the juice.
The hell, where's the blackmail? The blackmail from his position, the blackmail was, and this is insane. I need to understand.
Dude, it's so funny watching all these retards fight each other. It's just like, I'm not anywhere near any of the shit anymore. I can watch far from the sidelines as they all just fucking torch each other to a cinder with their fucking infighting lefty nonsense.
Insane, but this was his justification. His justification was that he was blackmailed to not allow him to leak someone else's DMs about a situation that he had nothing to do with.
Also, it's not even like Bosch's proclivities that ended up with people wanting to cut ties, the lolly horse stuff. It's like a bad. This is all caused by a apparent bad take on Biden. This is what's precipitated all this fucking insane lefty easy self nonsense.
Because his decision in a fight with Pebbles was a losing decision. He was taking personal hit for the way that he handled the fight with Pebbles.
True.
And blackmail not allowed him to use somebody else's DMs to get revenge on Pebbles because this is tagging his channel. That's it. And yes, as Jerry says, Xanderhaul already threatened to leave his channel. He was threatening us.
I don't know. I think I did a video about Travellers, which is quite spicy. I can't remember. It's long ago now. I think there was dishonesty about some DMs, and I leaked some DMs. Yeah, I think if you want to know, the video's still on the channel. You can go and review all of that drama as much as you desire if you want to know.
He was, if we didn't allow him to do what he wanted to do, and I was the least affected by that threat, obviously, because I don't have any ownership or participation in this channel.
Dude, one thing I've learned in all this is being involved in like stupid, petty little drama. It feels fun and good for the channel, but it's actually not. It's actually not that good for the channel to be involved in stupid, petty little drama like that. You know, you're best off like being a sideline participant or in some way involved, but not like in stupid, petty stuff with another person. It's just gay, and pointless. So yeah. Especially when like the people you're talking about. I mean, I think Demon had like 1,000 viewers for this stream. Normally it's like, I don't know, 500, 600, something like that at peak, I think. But I don't really pay attention to any of these people anymore. Only when there's stuff like this happening, you know. But, yeah.
The ultimate problem with the small petty dramas is that the drama has to be meaningful, and it has to be something that's like a daily activity. So let's take the once human shit for example. When you have people coming into the live stream claiming, I hate you, we hate you, we can't use world chat because you're talking in it. You have to understand that you've gone through several steps to get there. It's a very simple process. It's a very weird process, but it's a very simple process. In fact, I will paint the picture for you. I will paint the picture for you elaborately in a simple way to make this make sense. Because what he's saying is probably one of the most important things about knowing when to be involved in drama and when to stay happy and stay your ass at home. So, here's how this works out. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, bop, bada loop. Bebop. Pow, 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 pow. Wrong one. Pow. And then do a little pew. The problem you're having here. Ooh. Hello. The problem that he's having here. So, when you do the things that BreadTube does. BreadTube, CrumbTube, Cornbread Tube. Drama. You like drama. Drama leads to engagement, which then leads into more drama, which then leads into follow-up drama, which then leads into recursive drama, which then leads into more drama, which then leads into attention. Go ahead and draw an eye. Yeah, give us some eyelashes. Which then leads into more drama. When you create this cycle, the cycle itself does not perpetuate past this loop. That's why we created the word looping. Let's use Once Human as a facilitator. People are mad at me in the chat room. Need another color. People get mad at me in the chat room. They then go to my stream to tell me how much they're upset. I then laugh at them and then I block them. This leads to dead engagement. You're mad at somebody in a video game. You go to the live stream to tell them how mad you are in the video game. The streamer laughs at you and then rationalizes your actions back to you. You get blocked. You then go back into the game to be upset at the streamer. Every single time the streamer is in the chat room, you get mad about them existing. You then perpetuate amongst yourselves how much you hate that person. You then go back to giving that person your attention, despite the fact you've just been removed from giving any direct opinions, thus perpetuating the drama cycle of loop. This is only important in the case of Once Human, because yesterday, those of you who probably are not aware in the chat, don't you worry, it's already inside a Carl posting, don't have to put up on stream, only necessary to point out for this example. This is how the bread tube cycle works. They all get involved in petty fucking drama with each other, but they won't block each other. They won't avoid each other. They'll stay in the petty fucking drama. They'll keep it looping. Because unlike an Anna loop, which is Anna is obsessed about destiny. See, Valor's back! Anna is obsessed about destiny. She loops in a drama cycle about herself, coping and seething over the relationships he's having away from her. That every single time she loops, she needs a circle of people around her who are specifically keeping her in check to stop her from fucking looping. Because she will loop about it. Because realistically, whatever the fuck Destiny did to her, whatever kind of fucking white boy ooh-wop he put on that ass, the same shit he put on Invader V, that shit got her fucking broken. I'm talking broken on the bed, leaking, looking like... I placed the camera a little bit. A little bit. He got her broken on the bed like this. One hand behind Pat, one hand on front of him. Oh, Destiny! She is broken, boys! It is probably one of the most common and perpetual things that will ever exist on Twitch as a cyber existence of being. And that kind of has gone away over the last 4 years. Mainly because the shit Destiny's bombed himself into. But here, in this topic cycle, they just covered 4 key examples of why this loops. Number 1, they're all a part of White Nervosa White Forest, which is the forked and stolen Destiny.gg website chain that was originally developed by Destiny so that up-and-coming content creators, like me, could be able to have platforms. But the problem was that they stole his website code and basically used it to create a perpetual cycle of content for themselves. They only hold each other up because they hate Destiny. See the comparison? They hate Destiny so much that they use that as a platform to stand against him or any other shit that they happen to dislike. So, Demon Mama, connected to Vosh and connected to He Who Shall Be Mocked Perpetually. Shark03. Both of them, 2 best friends on the same platform. Counterpoints, former friend of the channel, but he has since left our graceful arms, but we only expect for Connor to return again so that we may speak to him with Aiden. Part of the same network. Rose Wrist, the one who was bullied off that we just covered and talked about being there. He was a part of them, and he was ostracized for the dare fact that he did spelling and fact-checking as a part of the manifesto that is connected to Keffels, who's also in the same connected group, and Cherry, who's an editor to basically the entirety of White Collective, all working together on that same sphere. Because they all have that incestuous relationship, and it is literally a company that is managed and ran by Vosh himself, Ian Kaczynski can basically use his connection with White Nervosa, the person who can't stop putting drugs up her nose, as she takes in the revenue from their websites and from their donation streams and all the shit that's made through the system, as a way to effectively hold power nebulously over their heads. It is the reason they find themselves here and why the cycle perpetuates. So, looking at the perpetuate cycle, since they need this attention for their engagement, the entire purpose for this is to recursively have a cycle of attention that brings them engagement. They won't block each other or evade each other and no longer cover and talk about each other because they are easy means to keep people interested. They will never not be anything other than that because that's all it will ever be. They are incapable of taking accountability for themselves and their own actions. They are incapable of dealing with the shit that they do. They are incapable of moving on from whatever drama they get themselves involved into. Because realistically, nobody on the internet really cares that much. To be dead ass. Why is my camera in fucking 44p? It's because of the lighting, probably. Focus on me. Focus on me. All of this is what causes them to exist. So, as long as you remember, the only reason that they're using Xanderhaul like this is because he is going to be what they focus on to make the drama recursive. This is now an opportunity for everybody on the internet to shit down Xan's throat. Now, Alexander has reasons for that to happen. Because the evolution from Pink Puncher to Xanderhaul to just Alexander Malding at a fucking camera is 5 years in the making. 5 years of him being somebody who went from being bullied into the left sphere to now being ostracized from the left sphere. He never had an original thought of his own. Never. Not a single thing he had to say was ever an original thought of his own. Everything came from Vosh. Everything came from all the other crumb tubers. All of it came from a general hatred of people who are not left-wing. And now he finds himself in front of the margin. He's now in the center of the crosshairs. And they're going to now monetize him the way he tries to monetize everybody else, the way they all monetize people. And when we get to them logs, boy, howdy. Boy, howdy.
Yeah. Well, we're friends with a lot of people. Didn't pan out. But we're laughing now, guys. Rolling Stone, don't forget.
Just his friend at that time, but he threatened all of us that he was just going to delete his channel if people didn't let him do what he wanted to do with information that wasn't his. Yes, it was. When I said it was a piss baby temper tantrum, that's what I meant. Let's continue. The nuke he has on Keffels is overwhelming with private statements and not public behavior, ignoring stuff that's not involving Keffels at all. On the other hand, he told multiple people that if he isn't able to leak someone else's DMs to make the haters eat their words, that's a direct quote, by the way, he'd delete all social media on the 22nd of December 2023. I said it would be a better choice than violating someone's consent to own the haters. That call is recorded. Remember, the Xanderhaul should probably log off and take a chill pill, because if he pisses off other people have information and proof of his behavior, it would hurt a lot more than me doing a stream talking about my friends and why he's a liar.
Let's go!
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Back to the cycle. I have information, engagement, that will lead to the destruction of Xanderhaul's channel, drama, follow-up drama, recursive drama, and if he keeps trying to threaten people that he's going to do what he's going to do, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and we're going to just have it out, which then brings people's attention to be like, what y'all motherfucker doing over there? What y'all talking over there? What do you mean Xanderhaul doesn't do? What y'all doing? Now, the problem with this kind of drama is that this doesn't last. It can't. And this is what Shed Logic means by this drama. You think it's good for your channel, but it's not. It's meaningless. It's empty. Because realistically, people only come to see the drama. And when you are not interesting, they leave. Because why would they stay? Makes perfect sense. There are some people who don't like that it makes perfect sense, but it makes perfect sense. As long as that is the cycle that they exist in, and that's as long as they allow themselves to be viewed, it will always be that kind of a problem. Because there's no other way they hold accountability to the problem. In order for it to be different, it requires them to treat it differently. They will never treat it differently Because I only ever see it. Where the fuck is that mark node? It is. They will only ever see it as exactly that. They will only ever see it as exactly, here's how you've harmed me, and here's why I will take my revenge on you. Cringe? Yes. But that's how they view themselves. That's how they treat it. Accept that this is the way that lefties are, and that they will never change from this. It will do you better. It will do you good. This is a very long way to go for Clever Thief. I think I'll only go as far as Acuity. Because I don't like Relentless Pursuit. I don't like Endkeeper Hunter. And outside of some Jewel Sockets and some Frenzy Charges, I don't see a reason to speed up here, with the exception of Herbalism. Because I think I'm not going to do Suppression Investment. I don't see a reason to. Anyways, moving on.
Week he had prior to the stream on December 27th was him playing video games to escape, to quote-unquote escape. I tried with 2 other people to talk him down. He left abruptly. One person concluded he was bluffing. They were correct. I'm not rolling in the mud with this and will simply release receipts without comment if he contests any of this information. Mind he cannot simply just stop talking to someone. He must publicly attempt to drag them and have the crowd follow. Which is what I've been saying today too. That's what, you see, I'm not making this up. I'm not, sorry, that came off like I'm trying to get one over on White Rose. White Rose was speaking the truth at the time, and I'm trying to show you that this didn't come out of nowhere, okay? Me not talking to Zan wasn't just me getting in the cold shoulder. We tried. I want to make
Dude, this is fucking... I get the gist. I get the gist, I think. I wanted to hear more insults about Xanderhaul. We're talking about shit in December. I mean, yeah, dude, this whole segment is way too fucking long, dude. Hey!
Usually held a knife to his throat, threatening to self-terminate. Why didn't that method work on trans people? That's their whole playbook.
True! Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Anyway, guys, what I can say is, yeah, I have heard on the grapevine that what the woman was saying is correct. Could be some, you know, stuff floating about out there. I guess we will see. I believe this is Cherry's partner, I think, or something. I don't fucking know, dude. Anyway, this is the message that I was talking about earlier that I saw of Xanderhaul's. Did I show this yesterday? Dude, I seem Cherry is shit-talking me to everyone. I'm sure they're saying a lot of bad shit about me, wanting to release that info, but I'm not going to. And they've put me in a position where I pretty much have to nuke all my online presence because I can't clear my name.
You don't have to nuke your online presence, though. If you have proof to prove things to the contrary, you just release the logs. Y'all already going at each other's throats. Release the logs. What are you scared of? Release the logs. Do the shit. Make the content. You're already little piggies playing in the mud, rolling around like little piggies. You're already down there. You're already in the shits. What are you scared of? Do the work. Do the work. What are you scared of? Do the work.
I can't do this just yet.
Why are you scared of the drama cycle? Your entire career is drama. Do the drama. Get in the shits. Talk about it. Expose some people. Clear your name. Vindicate yourself. Otherwise, it has to be true. By default. Do you not get that? In Xanderhaul's case, he doesn't care. Because he just wants to make fun of people like Mauler and Jay. He wants to make fun of nerds that are not interested in the shit he has to say. He can't take accountability for himself. No. That implies something else. That implies that he actually understands that he's fucked here. He's basically pulling the same thing that we had actually covered on some episodes of the Fried Chicanery. Specifically, Brad Taste of Music. His audience takes his shit over. They cuck him permanently out of his audience. And he just goes into hiding in shame. Because he knows that he's guilty and dead to rights. That they have him dead to rights. That's embarrassing. That's sad. Oh, what a sad man. Oh, cry for the sad clown. Oh, it's okay, buddy. We'll find you another audience type to griff off of, I promise. Oh, it'll be alright. You'll be fine.
Who's Mango? Xanderhaul can abuse Cherry because they didn't want him to put her in danger by dropping the careful stuff and knowing his actions towards her would warrant him. Thank you for the $2.
Here's a question. Put her in danger of what? Who is Keffel's going to hurt? Mind you, stealing is a form of hurting. But who is Keffel's actually going to threaten and endanger? Chud broke it himself when all that shit was going on. That Keffel's reaction to Destiny was basically to walk up to people sheepishly and tell him the equivalence of, and I will try my best to act it out here. your husband better, he better watch his stealth, or I'm gonna get him. That's the equivalent of how Keppel's handled that situation. What fear are you in? What is Keppel gonna do to you? If Keppel tries to do something to you, publicly expose it, she will be embarrassed. She will lose. Yes. Has to be. There's no other way to rationalize that shit. I don't understand what it is. What are you talking about? Harm what? What is the female twink gonna do? I beg of you. Just realized I forgot to turn that on. What is she going to do? What can she do? What will she do? What would she be willing to do? How far is she willing to go? However far she's willing to go ain't far enough. You should invite her and say, do it. I want to see it.
Flamenco should have called That was a funny drama, wasn't it? Oh, Mango's a commentary spurg, okay. Towards her, right telling people to the point of paranoia them out. Mango was going to send in memes, he didn't know shit about this. And Xanderhaul was just freaking out, thinking that this person is part of a conspiracy against them. Dude, Xanderhaul's been smoking too much weed, he needs to get off his fucking vape pen, clearly. Oh, hey, now this is public. Go fuck yourself, Xanderhaul, for how you treated my girlfriend, who carried your ass the entire time she worked for you. That's not your channel, it's her channel, and you literally have no talent outside of being abused. I hope you feel bad. I said it the British way. Oh my god, it's public. Xanderhaul owes Cherry thousands of dollars because he refused to pay her when she quit after he abused her. So yeah, there's no evidence as far as I've seen to these claims yet. It's been released publicly, I should say. And I feel like all we've got really is this response from Xanderhaul, I guess. Which all you do. If there's the end stuff, I hope they leave it to be hilarious.
After that,
okay, what's this? Can we review the Xanderhaul sex cult allegations and pretend they were all correct, true and based yet? Well, no, that'd be lying. I mean, those allegations were massively overextended. But Xanderhaul definitely won the little harem of Discord kittens, something that's undeniable. But it was overstated. Okay, here we go. Zan responds to the Cherry abuse allegations in his Discord. He claims that Cherry volunteered to, and he has to pay her. He also claims that Cherry used the DMs. He claims it is dirt, but it's not that petty. He calls out the hypocrisy, inconsistency of him getting dropped out while Keppels hasn't, whom he accuses of scamming. I believe that is all. He states that he won't cover the drama on stream, so I might check the...
I'm about to predict that someone's about to start screaming about some shit. Chill, brother. I'm not the one who's molding.
The VOD or Zitter tomorrow. Do you know why he's not covering this, by the way? I'll tell you why he's not covering this. He knows he's cooked. Remember that other message when he said, I can't defend myself, so I'm going to have to you call my socials? He knows he's fucked, so he probably doesn't want to draw too much attention to it. But, yeah. He's cooked.
Which is pretty much how leftists and most bad faith content creators get themselves under the water. If they put their head down, they try to avoid it because they know they're fucked, instead of either finding a way to fight it, and just simply change the narrative, change the story. But you'd think that they'd learn from how much fucking show theater they watch, but you know, that's too hard. Or, just don't be involved in the shit in the first place. Don't be involved in a bed of fucking snakes, and then get surprised that they snake you. Seems like logic to me. Double strike. No! Where's my double strike, bro? Come on.
It's over. He's at the clubhouse already for being from a bosh over the Biden stuff, and this is just finishing the job. This is like when a hitman goes to the hospital. The first day wasn't fully successful, so he's in a coma, and they put a pillow over his face and choke him out. That's what's going to happen to Xanderhaul now. Okay, is that the full screenshot here, or do you have to read it off of that? Okay. Well, let's just get into this, okay? So Cherry actually offered to work for me for free, and I insisted on paying them. They blocked me out of nowhere and sent this to Balf, whoever Balf is. If you hate me now, that's more than fine, I get it. I'm glad Xander has you as a friend, so I think you're a positive influence. I'm not interested in talking publicly about Xander, to be honest, unless he lies about me. Oh! Unless he lies about me, okay. Huh? Why do you think I hate you? I just blocked Xander and sent him a long message to chew him out. I'm telling you, if you hate me for that, I'm just letting you know, like, I won't hold that against you, lol. I get you got to be left your friend. Okay, I don't really hate people, just find too much effort to keep those feelings. Fair. If Xander shit talks to me about you, just let him know I'm not talking about him publicly unless he lies about me first, lol. I'm not going to use you as a middleman, to be clear. Okay. Never mind, I saw you lying about Demon Mama, including saying she threw Xander under the bus in a Kevin's video. Yeah, you're cut, lol. Have a nice life, bye. They also deleted all their DMs of me, but here's our last interaction. What happened? Too nice, what happened? I went, I'm really sorry. I don't really know what's going on with them. I think they may have really fucked up Correct Flash, but it could be good. Let me call you later for the specifics. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah, I'll react. Sometimes after blocking me, it's easier to take messages out of context if they want. I'm ignoring these clowns, like I said. They're not even getting a video about them in the drama. Stream to some juicy topics. I feel like they're attacking me, tying themselves to Keffals is kind of a cell phone. Everyone knows she's a scammer now.
Good to see.
Keffals is done. Who is still associating with Keffals at this point?
Correct. And also, why is it that you guys are still associating with them, even in the tangential sense? Shouldn't you guys have already broken bread away from her? Why are you still there? Huh?
Tell me something.
Did you guys not figure that shit the fuck out? That you should leave her for dead? No? I guess not. I guess they really gotta get into that. Perhaps. Mayhaps. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb.
Cherry was the person that burnt Keffals. Keffals is done in the lefty space, no? Their politics streams were getting like 50 views, 30 views, like terrible views, I thought. To be honest, I've ever spoke about all the stuff that happened there. It would turn that sphere of left politics to glass, but I'm not going to since I'm not that petty.
That sounds like Cope. I'll take Cope for 1,500 on the daily double. If it's something that you can definitely do, don't talk about it. Be about it. That just sounds like you moping. That just sounds like you coping. And I'm only gonna interpret it as cope, just like anybody else should interpret it as cope. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Do it. Go do it. Please. I'm begging you. Provide us content to look at you as you mauled yourself into a cycle. Please. 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 Promise. 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 Do you promise? Please promise. This is suffix modifier. Yeah, this is suffix modifier. I would have to re-roll the ring. I'd have to re-roll it and make it good.
On it. Onward and upward, as Danning might say.
Tipster? Oh yeah, I suppose so. Oh, Tippy.
Hail!
Oh, Tippy in the mix. That's true, actually. I thought Tipster was connected to Keffal's side. But he's in there slating, well, he's in there supporting, you know, Beamer Mama.
Because he knows who his next fiend Copus cycle is for. Keffals is out. He's got to find a new mommy. He's got to find a new mommy.
Oh, internet, I guess how's it going? We're just covering some shit of drama. Honestly, this feels like the kind of thing I just don't really do anymore. For good reason. I tried to talk about it because it was funny. That was it, really. And maybe we'll do a segment with it. But yes, this is total shit of drama, to be fair. What else has been going on? That's it for this, I think. Going good WT drama. Oh, yeah. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, there's a video about it. Where it was like a satisfying downfall of Chris Tyson, and they're like, why is it satisfying? I mean, it depends what angle you come in from, I guess. I don't understand what exactly is satisfying about all of this. Dude, for a drama subreddit, dude, it's all the H-Bomber guy freaks infiltrating this Discord that's made it like this. Literally sawing out about, like, I mean, it is a bit satisfying. I don't know. I found it quite satisfying. N-Bomber guy. But yeah, guys. All roads lead back to Chris Tyson, it seems. Oh. Yeah, stupid, man. What's Xanderhaul saying? What is he saying about all this business? Hey?
Consider hashing things out with Demon Mama and the rest in DMs. Fan of all y'all that things look like they're getting out of hand in the peanut gallery? Honestly, no. Like, she called me, like, Epstein or something and made a stream, like, vindictively on my birthday to try and shit-talk me. That was, like, all themed after it being my birthday and claiming I started drama. This has just been, like, the most one-sided shit ever. I'm gonna continue to let it be obvious how one-sided it is, so I'm not gonna engage with them, and I'm not gonna remend any bridges, but I'm not going to respond to them and burn any more. They're not getting any videos, because that's what they want. They want me to, like, engage with it, because then it's like, oh, see, Zan's getting consider.
Looks like I'm gonna get the juice.
Gotta get the juice. Gotta get the juice. Now we get to the point where we show the logs. But first I need to go sort through my shit. Alright, Tucson. You better not have some bullshit. I'm seeing bullshit. I'm seeing lots of bullshit. Oh my god. That's a horrible chest. That's an okay chest. That's painful, Tunjin. You're hurting me. You're hurting me right here. Right here, Tunjin. You hurt me right here. How could you do that to me? I trusted you. We trusted you.
About time.
I still only have one fucking ship.
That'll do.
Well, now we're talking. Bars. I'm pretty sure I don't even have enough money to upgrade it.
Welcome to the forge.
No, I don't.
Well, look who
What a
is.
fucking investment. What a fucking investment. Now, why'd you say that like that? Faustus, why you talking to me like that? Baby, it's me. Don't you treat me like anybody else. Ah.
More of those down exotic coins for the harbor master.
The 5 link is served as well, but it's gonna fall off soon. Need more armor to survive. I have to replace the cold resistance. Yeah.
Godslayer.
We're always open.
Few more for the pile, Rog.
Onward and upward, as Daddy would say.
Well, that's some interesting lag. Tipster is. He is indeed.
Is that the egg?
I teleported into the fuck. This game sometimes, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fuck me. I would like this ring to be upgraded for set down a certain path, but I don't have nearly enough essences to do it. Slam what I can and get away with the rest.
Godslayer. Good day.
Please land. That's not gonna work. I need an open suffix. We can do something with that. We can do something with that. Yes, sir. Might not have life, but I don't care. Here's my shield throw. There it is. 2474. 2468. Still above my health pool. Still keeps precise technique going. No significant loss of chaos. Well, I have a Chaos Flask. It don't matter what the fuck I have. Even stacked resistances. Plenty of life here. Yeah, that's fine. I need better boots that have movement speed in them. Either a unique or something else to float. Alright. Logs. I have gone and I have found the logs in question that they were going through, that Xanderhaul was having melty over.
Things are looking up.
So, we will go through them. We will go through them, Chad. Prepare yourself for a level beyond stupidity, a level beyond insanity, a level beyond general cope, and only true mold. Directly from inside the Discord, posted earlier. On my thread. Click, click, click. That's not supposed to open there. New one. Click, click, lick.
Oh, sorry. Did I say?
Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. And not go to the post thing? No, I didn't. Stupid. Alright. Here we go. Let us begin. What is that? It's full screen. We have tried to take the high road with Xanderhaul TV. Today he explicitly lied about the abuse he knows happened in December. Here are the receipts of him berating and threatening his own friend and editor, Cherry. Don't need this. See if this is sized correctly for this. Take the hammer back. Get him, you get him, you know what you're doing now. Benny, Benny, the same thing down the back. Okay, a little bit big. Okay. All right, let's begin. First message from Xanderhaul, 11/27/2023, 7:21 p.m. Okay, so I think I'm fucked. Still no money and it still does not show as pending in my bank account. Okay, the number was wrong. Confirmed. The 4K went to some rando. It has to be stopped. Cherry, ASAP. Emergency. Fuck. Homeless. I am now homeless. Cherry. Cherry. Why? Answer. Now. Now. Please, I'm going to homeless. Cherry. 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 They're trying to take me in the walls. Cherry. Oh, he keeps going. I'm out. Oh, God. Oh goy. Oh goy. That's hilarious. I have never been paid by PV before, according to all my bank info. Not ever before. Cherry answer now. I will be homeless starting tomorrow. Okay, we are buying my ticket back to California now. Doom, doom, doom. Thank you for ghosting me tonight. I'll never forget it. Never. The only way to save me is for PV to pay me everything they owe me. I've never received a single payment, not one. I am fucked. I am fucked. Cherry, answer now. You have fucking killed me. Why? Why? Please, just answer. Please. Answer now. I have mashed beyond myself. When you are back online, we need to have a conversation about your future employment. If I am Sadhu, no thanks to you. I have messaged beyond myself. I am fucked because of you. You swapped the fucking numbers and they weren't able to pay me because of that. Email by Cherry sent to PV to get Xanderhaul his payments. Octa 4K is on his way to fucking some guy. Now, I am waiting. Shit's better than Game of Thrones, bro. Shit's better than Game of Thrones. It continues. There's more. Continues receipts of him blaming, berating, and attacking his own friend. And employee, more coming soon. Keep eyes here on this thread. I want you to know that if I have to fly to California tomorrow, I cannot bring my PC. I will not afford to pay. I will not be able to afford your pay. Your job will not exist anymore tomorrow because you wouldn't message me back. This is still salvageable, but time is now slipping away. And if you are asleep and see this in the morning, it's already too late. I am also now in hot water with Ayana because I look bad for having you handle shit this way while I was busy. You were the one who got me to join PV. I told you I'd be too busy to handle this stuff and you said you would. I have now paid another $250 so that my mom could reschedule her flight and extend her rental car for next week. My lease still ends in 25 hours, but I won't be stranded here without her when I get kicked out. I could have locked this house in hours ago if you were fucking awake to send me the W-9 and pay agreement from PV to verify my income. You fucking fuck! We need music for this. Hold on. Where's the cope music? Where the cope music at? Music to cope tune. This is not what I'm looking for. I have to find that clip from fucking... Oh, that's horrible. Either way. Sir Some Todd. Actually, no. Can't even play that. They'd be copy striked. Aha! My god. You need devastation music here. Anyways. You are the one that get me to join this. You're responsible for all this. I would have had the place moved in by now, you motherfucker. You're the only person holding back the whole process now, you fuck. If I end up homeless because the police get nabbed up by tomorrow and I'm stuck living with my abusive mom again and that's why I'm back where I started, I'll make sure they know it's because of you. And then Cherry calls him for a minute. You probably won't even pay me this month. Why do you think I won't pay you? Tell me why you think I can't and how it makes me bad. You did it last month. Simple logic. Pretty logical to me. Gotta check the front door. Pretty logical to me. Get back into story mode. Why? Say it. Why couldn't I pay you? And how does that reason make me an asshole? I'm gonna get evicted at the end of this month at this rate, Cherry. We have not made enough money, Cherry. I cannot change that, Cherry. You ignored me, Cherry. You left me in my hour of need, Cherry. I have been your #1 supporter for 2.5 years. I'm worried that if I don't agree to this, you're going to hurt me. I'm not Gevels. You talk about wanting the people to die a lot. A lot of people need to die, to be fair. Yeah, we're still friends, right? Right, huh? Like you still want to see my dog and stuff? This part of the logs I was rolling at. I'm not even fucking joking. Where the fuck did the dog comment come from? Your suggestion is best as mine, chat. I'm baffled, quite honestly. Next one. Xanderhaul threatening to kill Kethels and her followers during a deranged, abusive mental breakdown from December while his editor begs him to stop. I hate them all, Terry. I want them all to die. I would kill Kethels in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even shoot her. I'd beat her to death with a gun. You're not in a good mental state. I will kill. I will murder her. I will. I am a sturgeon. Where's her address? I want it. I want to know where she's at. She's in Ireland. It's not public. Please stop. You're spiraling. Someone has to for this. I'll never be happy until someone is for my sins. Ideally, Kevels. Her career's gonna die. And Velvet and her orbiters. I really have to. I really have to. I have to start her heart. I have to stop her heart. Bro is having a JoJo's meltdown. Ooh, there's one. And Velvet and all her orbiters. I really have to murder. I really have to murder. I really have to murder. He says, I have to stop her heart. Zan, stop! Calm down! Stop, please! Okay. I'll calm down. I gotta lock in. I can't just go too insane now. I have also gone on Hinge and threatened to murder my fellow streamers. Oh god. Oh man. Oh lord. Oh lord. Yeah. Oh, that's an knee slapper right there. That's an knee slapper right there. Xanderhaul's editor, Ethan, has now privated the stream, which Xanderhaul was recorded coaching Ethan on how to lie and misrepresent the receipts that we have released today. The stream is also featured Xanderhaul live workshopping, a pivot from his previous admissions on stream. Cut in 4K. Hello. nurse assistant was here. Had to make sure to go get the towels done. I'd rather pull the towels out of the dryer now that they're done. All right. That's more or less it to the Xanderhaul topic. Man quite literally had a Yoshikage Kira moment. He had a Yoshikage Kira moment and lost his fucking brain. And now, on to better news. Click, click, click. Let us finally begin digging in to Ava Tyson. Where's that link that I posted? I put it on the high here. Where is it? Where is it? Ah, here it is. Alright. Now we must begin going through Ava Tyson. Topics. So the first one. Boom. Beam. Bada boom. Pow. Pow. And then where's the other one?
Yeah, I would say I'm...
Yeah, it's one. This is the first of many. First one up, Sydney Watson. Mr. Beast. Changing gears, chat. Mr. Beast knew about Tyson's behavior. Because it literally just is what it is. There's plenty of Mr. Beast kind of shady ones, but I want the deeps. I want the deeps.
I'm surprised, but I'm not. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to Hell. And today it is hell indeed. And as per usual, before we launch in, today's video is sponsored by InVideo. And of course by me and my tea company, Lions Tea Exchange. Which comes in handy for a video like this because it seems that when people discuss the Chris Tyson / Mr. Beast situation, they get demonetized. So buying a box of my tea is genuinely a really good way of supporting my channel, and it's also a good way of having a yummy cup of tea. So, you know, it's a double whammy. So go check it out. I will link it in the description box. Actually, speaking of tea, I don't know if you can see this, but look at my newest concoction. I talked about Magic Mind in another video a little while ago, but because I drink it every day and it makes me feel smarter, I thought I would mix it with my green tea. I like the taste of Magic Mind on its own as it is, so I'm not really sure what I was expecting, but it's actually pretty good. So you learn something new every day. So Magic Mind is yet another thing that I will also link in the description box for those of you who are also interested. Now, I have been paying close attention to the Chris Tyson drama as it's all unfolded over the last number of weeks, I guess you could say now, because I wanted to cover it in a deep dive type of video, because I knew that the original allegations weren't going to be the start and end of the situation. I knew it was going to get worse because these situations always do. So with that in mind, I wanted to express something that has been really bothering me, and I started looking into this and collecting all of my bits and pieces. For those of you who have no idea who Chris Tyson is and don't know what I'm talking about, Tyson was formerly a member of the Mr. Beast YouTube team and the best friend of Jimmy Donaldson, who happens to be Mr. Beast. Back in 2023, Tyson came out as transgender and eventually began identifying as a woman.
I am a woman.
Oh yeah!
She heard.
About a month ago, a YouTube video video was uploaded by a user called Prism42, who made some pretty serious allegations that Tyson had been having inappropriate interactions and relations with a 13-year-old boy when Tyson was around 20. The pair allegedly also met up 3 years later when the boy was 16. Because what 23-year-old man doesn't want to hang out with a 16-year-old? Like, come on, guys, it's so obvious. Everybody wants that. Everybody wants that. The information in that video ended up popping off and got picked up by a bunch of other YouTubers, and over the last few weeks, more and more information has come to light. Some of which is fully unsubstantiated, but there's enough here that we can deduce that our friend has some serious issues. Essentially, all of this boils down to the fact that Chris Tyson has been having inappropriate, explicit interactions with teenage boys for years and years and years.
Chris Tyson
I'm out.
manipulated me and did very inappropriate things with me while I was about 15 years old. I was actually friends with Lava GS at the time, who is the main victim of Chris that everyone has been talking about these last few days. Who claims he isn't a victim, but we all know he is, and we all know he probably got paid off.
This is the least surprising thing I found out this week.
But you want to know what is a surprising thing? That you can use AI to make incredible videos.
One product that is trying to use AI for good is the sponsor of today's video, InVideo
Oh,
AI.
Sydney, I love you. Sydney, I love you, but girl, we are here for the sauce. As Logic says, the juice. But it's okay. It all goes to a good cause. We will stand the ads, chat. We will stand the ads. We will stand the ads. For who am I to say that we can't help a sister? For one, certainly can help a brother.
But it can be a little challenging and a lot time consuming. But InVideo AI is trying to change that by enabling you to create and edit videos using simple text prompts. Start with a simple text prompt about your video idea. The more detailed it is, the better the result. Based off the first cut that InVideo generates, keep fine-tuning your creation with their user-friendly interface.
Ever pondered on how a simple headline can shape your perception of reality?
It will write the script, find relevant footage, and even let you add your own voice and subtitles. Meaning if you want your video to be voiced by you, InVideo can make that happen. And if you don't like something on screen, you can make easy edits to any of these things using the command box. I didn't like this one cut that InVideo gave me, so I asked it to start the video off with a joke.
Why did the president stumble during the speech? Because he was trying to skip over the tough issues.
I know the folks at InVideo AI are committed to enabling anyone to turn their ideas into public ready videos. And this is just version 1, meaning that even greater things are on the horizon. So you can try InVideo AI for free today, or if you're serious about content creation, then you can get the same paid plan as me that starts at just $20 a month. And this lets you remove watermarks and gives you access to voice.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money for an AI service, bro. I'm not trying to look a gift horse in the mouth, bro. That's a lot of money for an AI service. And it's not even like the first tiers of the ones that required you to understand how to use the things. Still a lot of money. Still a lot of money. What is that door I see in the distance? Once this delirium mirror is done, I'm gonna check that door. That door's never been there before.
High-quality stock footage. So click the link in the description and use my code to get twice the amount of video generation credits in your first month. Now, all of this on its own is obviously incredibly bad. But the thing that I feel like is getting glossed over quite a lot in all of this is that terrible behavior typically doesn't happen in a vacuum, meaning typically people who are around an individual who is doing questionable, terrible things are often aware of all of that to some extent. And I know this because I have worked in media and in content creation land for a number of years, and I have seen firsthand with my own eyeballs what people are willing to excuse or overlook or refuse to act on simply because it's inconvenient, or because they want to use the bad person in question to further their own career, or just because that person might be part of a protected group or a group of people who you can't say anything about. It's almost like there are so many secrets about particular personalities.
We got one of the best jewels we needed.
No, but nobody says or does anything about, and it's so bizarre, especially because there are these people who do things out in the open. They behave this way out in the open, and again, there's just no repercussions. Like, we have eyes. We see what you're doing. So with that said, I genuinely believe that is what is happening here with this Chris Tyson situation. I'm going to try to be gentle in the way that I articulate myself here for a couple reasons. The primary ones being that I don't know these people personally, obviously, but I do know quite a bit about the industry, and I have seen things firsthand, so I feel like I can speak pretty definitively from that vantage point. But also, I feel like there's a lot of information already that's come out that we can kind of start making some value judgments. And secondly, the reason for the gentleness is because YouTube has apparently been age restricting and monetizing people who have no words to say about both Chris and Mr. Beast, who I'm just gonna call Donaldson, because it's easier, and maybe he won't flag in the YouTube system, who's to say. Can't imagine why YouTube would be doing weird things to protect the biggest players on the platform. Imagine that, crazy. Total mystery why YouTube does these things. Anyway, very early on when all of this was starting to gain traction, particularly on X/Twitter, another former Mr. Beast employee and friend called Jake Franklin tweeted that Jimmy Donaldson knew all along. When Donaldson eventually made his own statement about the situation a few days later, he said, "Over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Tyson's behavior online, and I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I have been focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts. That said, I've seen enough online to take immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel, and with Mr. Beast. I do not support any of the inappropriate actions. I will allow the independent investigators the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation and will take any further actions based on their findings." And here's the thing, that very well might have been the case. This entire group of people who work alongside Tyson genuinely might not know, might not have known about the ins and outs of the behavior being displayed, about interacting with these minors, and all the other allegations and criticisms and accusations that are likely going to continue to come out as the days pass. But I sincerely doubt that. Donaldson and Tyson were best friends, and maybe they still are. They even started the Mr. Beast YouTube channel together. Their friendship group, because of the channel and its content, were spending an inordinate amount of time together, rooming together. They were part of the same Discord server, where Tyson was having public conversations about inappropriate material material with two minors. And actually, speaking of Discord server, there was a leak of a lot of these messages and interactions, and we can see in these messages that Donaldson is also in there making jokes and mucking around, discussing Tyson's nether regions and what have you. Whether or not these jokes between Tyson and Donaldson are spicy but largely innocuous, there were
that's salacious.
minors in that group, minors engaging like this, and it looks like a number of personalities on the Mr. Beast team were also in there interacting. It is actually remarkably easy to not text minors inappropriately. You just don't do it. It's like that simple. It's also worth noting that Donaldson and Tyson at one time lived together, and during that time, Tyson had found a piece of artwork on the wall that he commissioned from an infamous artist called Shedman. Shedman is known for creating extremely graphic images, often depicting young girls. This guy is also like just a whole issue unto himself. Like, I don't want to.
In fact, all of this came about because of Shadman. That's a horrible timeline we live in, Shad. Let's be for real. Horrible timeline. But hey, something good came out of it. Some ordinary podcast is dead because Nisaksu got excised from that audience after grifting himself towards relevance by being friends with Nudahar. All the details of this shit is coming to its head. Yeah, I know I'm out of money. All this shit coming to a head, all because motherfuckers really wanted to be famous. I turned that motherfucker into a tree. It's all coming up Millhouse, but for the worst reasons. The world would have been better not remembering his name and not knowing him, but you know, just have to deal with it. Just have to deal with it.
You die rather well.
The image Tyson commissioned shows what appears to be a young girl dressed in very little clothing, putting a gun in her mouth. She also has a reference to large black male man pickles tattooed on her leg. I don't know how to say that on YouTube.
Queen of Spade. It's a tattoo of this Queen of Spade. Queen of Spade basically is the equivalent of branding yourself with an actual mark that says, I only fuck black men. Now there's a bunch of other ones for all the different clubs, but the Queen of Spade is the most common one because, of course, the women who get it want to call themselves pogs. And it's fetish material. There's really no way around it. It's fetish material. If you get a Queen of Spades tattooed on your body, it's the same as getting anything to do with an inverted pineapple. Inverted pineapples are swingers. Queen of Spades are basically black fetishists that look at men not as human beings, but as sexual beasts to fulfill their proclivities and to make them feel like fresh and clean as the day he put it in roughly. I joke only because it disgusts me. And mind you, I make non-stop jokes, never-endingly, don't I, chat? But it's one of the things that annoys me from my escort days. You cannot, in any way, ever look at these people and say, well, they're just joking, you know? Like, you know, they see people as human. No, they don't. The way that these people look at the world is the way that Brittany Ryans, Whitney Cummings, as we call her, wrote that fucking book to try and make a BB-sissification story, but really just idolized how much she took a joke of men. There's no world where you can have that kind of rhetoric and say, bro, it's a joke, it's a joke, it's a joke. That's hateful rhetoric that exists for people that you say you like, but you only like them for their dick. Not a human, basically. Not a human. The hidden underbelly. Where am I? Not on the map. Interesting. An entirely new zone. Wow.
But anyway, this is the image that Tyson decided to put in his home. And there is a video on the Mr. Beast channel where we can see on camera very clearly this piece of artwork. And Donaldson is sitting only a short distance away from it. Like it's in plain sight. It's right there. Probably a meter away from you. And you didn't know. Okay. It's probably worth noting that if you want to go and watch this with your own eyes and you go and find the specific Mr. Beast video, they've actually deleted about 2 minutes of footage from the video, so they've removed the part in question that demonstrates all of this. But there's a lot of these clips and stills and whatnot going around on X or Twitter. In an abundance of caution as well, I've also just blurred and deleted everything, not because I don't think you guys can handle seeing what's on screen, but because I don't want to give YouTube more reasons to be unkind. So there's that. Anyway, apparently when Tyson went to meet with the 16-year-old I mentioned at the beginning of this video, another Mr. Beast personality was with him. Not to mention, Tyson was also making public tweets expressing his weird and terrible ideas and attracting publicly. So reasonably, if this is what he was saying openly and on the internet, what else was he expressing privately? So through all of this, I genuinely don't understand how the assertion can be made that these men had absolutely no idea what Tyson was doing and what this behavior looked like. And even beyond Tyson's immediate circle, there are plenty of people who have recently stepped up and tried to put distance between themselves and these allegations in the situation and this person. A good example of this is Finster. I think that's how that's pronounced. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is another
The femboy! Technically 5 of them, 10 of them. I swear, there's becomes more every few years, but Fencer's the one that has committed to doing what technically Mutual Dimitri Monroe has not done. Fencer's just basically boy with obvious man's voice that looks like a female and is willing to get on camera for the OF. I ain't mad at him. Get your money, boo-boo. Chase that ball. Chase that bag. Both of them. Both of them. But Fencer is known for being one of the people that basically rejected the true pink pill. They're having fun with dressing like a boy or dressing like a girl whenever they want. And the trans-trender pink pilling crowd hates them for not taking the true pink pill. So they can live their sexual fantasies through them as transgender gooners.
My spirit is spent.
So many lightning bolts. And that's pretty much what put Spencer on the map, basically. So Spencer does come from a side of the internet that would deal with and basically be aware of this shit, as with somebody like myself. Just normal stuff. Just normal stuff.
So I also think fans, but maybe not so, so there's that. Who released a 16-minute video that essentially said, I had no idea this was happening.
Many of you know about the Ava versus Tyson situation, and if you don't, the main plotline is that she was both publicly and privately talking inappropriately to a minor. If you're someone that looks up to Ava, I get it. 90% of what's out there is just people throwing slurs and lying about things. I get that you want to immediately jump to a defense. I'm obviously not going to be doing that. But from the perspective of someone that used to be a close friend, let's go through what she said and did so you get context of the situation, and you'll understand why I'm distancing myself, and you'll see a bunch of other people distancing themselves. I don't know if you can tell by the dead look in my eyes here, but I didn't exactly see this news coming.
Which again, I don't buy it. I'm sorry. This is the second time in Finster's career that these allegations have come out about somebody that Finster is friends with, and the response has always been, oh, I didn't know. I genuinely don't want to get into the guilt by association territory too much here because there's obvious problems with that, but like, come on. My primary point here is that people are popping up all over the place to do a whole bunch of ass covering to say that they didn't know about Tyson, that they were blindsided, despite the utter impossibility of them having not known the entire time. It genuinely does not make sense to me. I think the reason why I care so much about this and why this has made me so mad is because, well, for obvious reasons. Number one, on this channel we have talked a lot about child safeguarding and about the awful people that exist in society who harm young people and how much I hate those people. But also from like a personal vantage point of working in media for what, 5-6 years now and being in content creation for the same amount of time, I have just seen firsthand the overwhelming terribleness that other content creators, other people in the industry are willing to overlook because it's either advantageous for them to overlook it in the sense of, you know, like social climbing or getting further ahead in the industry, or just because like it's inconvenient to say something. It's inconvenient to them to
from here
speak
to
out,
here and
speak
all the
out.
way
Or
over
it's just,
there.
you know, you don't have to necessarily out somebody publicly. You can just seriously distance yourself and pull away from them and not have any sort of relationship with these people. And so I guess I find all of that disingenuous because it's like these people wait until the hammer drops and then they turn around and have something to say, but it's largely just because they're doing a bunch of mass covering. And the thing is, these situations are almost always a lot worse than what is floating to the surface publicly. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think another component to this that's really frustrating is that sometimes people get cancelled and pulled out when they've done something that's not necessarily innocuous, but it's just not that big of a deal. Maybe something icky, but it's just not that bad. And they're chased off the internet, they're attacked and denigrated and whatever. The people who do legitimately heinous things, for some reason, I don't know why this is, they just fly on the radar and nobody knows, and the people who do know just keep their mouth shut.
Because it happens in insular communities. Unlike the topic of red tubers, who basically are only people who ever do shit, that man is bugging out in the corner. Put him out of his misery. Whereas they are nebulous people who exist inside of public space hug boxes that exist on a dead internet, between the same 5 places, reposting media and news to try and make themselves top of the stack, to be bigger fish in their ponds. The majority of these things happen in nebulous spaces like mine. So, amongst the shitposters on Twitter, we are all aware of Shadman. We're aware of people who are Shad lookalikes. We're aware of the way that some people behave. You know, if you've ever seen a thing from Belle Delphine, you're basically inside that spear. But at the same time, from myself, to Poe, to Jay, and then back again, anything that has overlap with entertainment news and public news, people are aware of these people, but that doesn't mean that we like them. We know that they exist, but we want nothing to do with them. And that then leads to them going unheard and unseen, because basically, they'll become persona non grata amongst people. And the only time they really get talked about is when that persona non grata status gets exposed as something worse or different. Then and only then does it really get discussed. But then it becomes the case basis of, well, see, I told you, now we know. And I'm not exactly one for them shits. I don't believe that stuff. It's usually handled exactly the way you would expect to handle any kind of story that you're not directly involved in. You know details about it, and it's something that you could dig into, but it's not necessarily something that people care about. So, it goes undiscussed. And usually that's how people get away from it. Because they're not directly involved in the content cycle that leads to them being exposed. They can always go to another audience. They can always find a new community to be a part of. It's basically how Tipster has done his career. Moving from new friend to new friend. It's heinous. It's horrible. It's something that should be exposed, no matter who does it. But it's very difficult to get that across the bow, to get it across the margin, across the bow. Because to get it across the margin, you have to be able to hold people to account, and most of these guys don't get held to account. Because people only care about coming in those spaces, ironically just like the sector, when it benefits them. It's not something that you need to be dead set on. It's just, that's how it is. It's drama, it's news of the week. The bullshit here today, gone tomorrow.
Right. So to bring this back to this Mr. Beast debacle, this situation 100% extends beyond Tyson's immediate colleagues and friends. It also concerns all of the other creators who likely knew or had an inkling or who had heard some things, who said nothing at the time but now are coming out with these lukewarm responses. All of it just makes me so mad. There are undoubtedly so many conversations that need to be had about not only Tyson's behavior, but this behavior in general. We also probably need to talk about this trend in media where people either run interference for terrible people or just blatantly ignore terrible behavior because it would be very inconvenient for them to call it out. But we can't do any of that, especially in this case, because the allegations concern somebody who is transgender. And when that's the case, that becomes the primary concern. That is the primary focal point of the discussion rather than the actual.
Because the problem is that it now ties into a narrative that they have to fight back against. And that narrative is transgender people are 69 gods. Dun 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 dun. I should really do it with footwork, but I'm too lazy and I don't want to get off my ass. But no, that's the whole problem. They some freaky ass niggas, they some 69 gods, they be doing things, they be swallowing that rod, glog 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 glog. Drinking down nut like that shit is eggnog. Can't have that.
Actual issue at hand. So rather than calling a spade and discussing the situation as it should be discussed, it all starts to revolve around being sensitive to the transgender person in question, to using their correct pronouns and not misgendering them and not being offensive, lest everything that you say is written off completely because you're a bigoted transfer.
And that's the reason why, in that Sneeko debate, Critical cut himself. Because they knew, he fucking knew. He knew that it was to be an embarrassing topic for him to get into. He knew it would fuck him if he did that. So that's why he played that much and played that safe. And by not having an opinion, he demonstrated how feeble-minded he could be in the face of somebody who he's not prepared to deal with, and how amongst the places and spaces where you don't have to worry about censorship, you can talk about it freely. You can get into the nitty-gritty. You can talk about all that shit, but you can't if you want to have a platform, if you want to have a career. Talk about that shit. You're done. You're not allowed. You're not allowed. I found the button. You're not allowed. Because that will do smart and loud. And that makes sure you get attention. And Lord knows can't let motherfuckers have attention. Lord knows you can't do that. That means people would actually know what's going on. They'd be informed. Can't have informed people. No sir. No sirree boo. Can't have that. So this is how it happens. Sad, sad, sad.
You can't be offensive, you can't misgender, and you can't talk about this in a way that makes a certain protected community look bad. And it's honestly terrible. And jokes aside, that genuinely adds an entire level of censorship to these type of situations, where people have to be more careful about how they're articulating themselves than just talking about something as it should be discussed, because if they don't get it 100% correct and they make people upset, then their entire sentiment is disregarded. So in the end, what I'm trying to say here is that Tyson's behavior is not new, but also the covering up or the excusing it or the saying, oh, I didn't know any better, like I couldn't have done anything because I didn't know, is also not new, and it's an active problem in these kind of creative fields. And just to be perfectly clear here about two things predominantly, number one being, I'm not asking that internet personalities or online entertainment people be perfect figures. I'm not suggesting that all of us as human beings don't have a past, don't have things that we've done and said that we think about when we're trying to lay in bed at night going to sleep, but it's just like there and you just think about stupid and you can't work out why you did that. Not asking them to not have personal lives, not asking them to have things that they would rather keep private, not even saying that every single dumb thing that they've ever done or said should be public. In fact, I don't think that should be the case at all. But we are largely, as human beings, just, imperfect creatures that wander around in search of sugar. But it does make me incredibly angry when other people wander around saying they had absolutely no idea about somebody's behavior when the chances of that actually being the case are slim to none. Especially considering that if you are a terrible person, and other people are aware of it, especially if you don't even try to hide it, people are going to find out. And that's the sort of thing that I feel like audiences should probably be aware of, because why are you following people? Why are you giving money to people? Why are you engaging with people who are heinous creatures? And the second thing is that I firmly believe that there is a time and a place for edgy humor, by and large, where people do and say things that maybe I personally don't find particularly funny, maybe it's a little bit offensive, but you know what, at the end of the day, if they're not doing anything illegal, well, let them have their terrible, terrible jokes. And I don't think it's necessarily right to indict people because they are having these type of edgy, weird humor situations with their adult friends, especially in private. But when you're doing this crap with 13, 14-year-olds, completely different story. Ultimately, I am not trying to argue for a movement that just because somebody gets found out to be a terrible human being, that means that every single person in their orbit knew that was the case. However, with relation to the Chris Tyson situation, I would be unbelievably surprised to find out that many of the people orbiting this individual weren't fully aware of the way that this individual individual behaves and many of the things that this individual has done. I don't buy it, I don't believe it, and like I've already said, this is genuinely a problem in the media space, and I don't think that it's going to go away anytime soon. So there you go, team. That's my opinion on this particular component of this particular situation, and obviously I just have a personal feeling about this, just based on all the things that I've seen. And if you are interested in me making a longer, more deep dive video into this entire situation, I'd be more than happy to do so, but I figured I'd put that all in your course, and you guys can tell me if it's of interest to you or not. But otherwise, my next video will be out in a couple of days, so stay tuned for that, and we will get back on our regularly scheduled program. And of course, before you all do, this is just air, manage, check out any video using the link in the description. I think it's totally worth doing if you're interested in getting involved in making videos yourself. It's a really, really good starting point. Now, over the course of all of you, what do you all think? Are you on my side of this issue where you think that the majority of people involved in the situation probably knew what was going on, either fully or at least a little bit? Or do you think that maybe it's unfair to make that kind of judgment about these people and what they did or didn't know? What do you think about the guilt by association factor here? Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's unfair? And what do you make of this situation overall? As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. You know I like having you along for the full ride. If you are not subscribed already and you would like to see more of this and more of me, then feel free to hit the button as well as liking this video and leaving me a comment. It helps tremendously. And as you guys know, I love your video suggestions. I have a running list of them, so feel free to leave me any if there's something that you would like me to cover. Of course, and as always, I really look forward to hearing all of your feedback about this particular issue. I know that you guys are going to have a ton of opinions. But until next time, stay safe and well, and I will see you in the next video.
Very good video. Thank you, Sydney. Very, very insightful. That is effectively the beginning of the situation, but of course, there's more! Now let's get into the shits. Let's get into the shits. Let's get into the shits. Because of course, there's been more over the social media platform, there's more everywhere else, but we want to get them these Tyson logs. We want to get them Tyson logs. Ah! Where's the video? 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 Here we go.
What's up, guys? Omni here.
Video from Omni. All hail another black person. He's got the freshest take from 17 hours ago. Let us begin.
You guys know how it goes. Another day, another video. Last night I tweeted I sleep. What recent news, topic, tweets, videos you want me to talk about tomorrow? Hey guys, today is Monday, July 29th. Congratulations, you made it to the last week of July, and we're going to get started with the first week of August. Yeah, later this week as well. So, yeah. We got a lot of news to talk about. A lot of people getting canceled, things that happened with the Olympics, Mr. Beast apparently getting canceled, more updates with Ava Chris Tyson, Cody Ko, Sneeko, Charlie. It's crazy out on these streets. No one is calming down. I feel like we always get these wild events and it just keeps getting wilder and wilder. It's not a coincidence. For some reason, the entire world is on fire. Jilly Crab 60.
It's more like everything has overlay with everything else, and because this is just like Boogie's story, some of the biggest shit on the platform, it tarnishes the reputation of Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is getting fucked for this. Now, he might not have wanted that, but that's too bad, because it's happening. He ultimately has to address it, he has to account for it, and if he doesn't, people are going to keep asking, if you knew, why didn't you do something? He wants to say he didn't, and for business reasons, you gotta say he didn't, but that just, it's not accurate. It's just not accurate. It's not accurate at all. Critical fields, points down. Clearing backwards is so weird. Anyways.
Is saying, oh, I think you know. One of Ava Chris Tyson's old Discord mods came out with a big Discord leak. It does not look good for Ava at all. No, not looking good for Ava at all is literally an understatement, okay? This woman is getting dragged left and right, up and down. Every time you think it's the end, it reminds me of the Illuminati. Every time you think it's the end of the drama and the things that can come out with Ava Chris Tyson, more information comes out to make the situation look worse and worse. For those of you guys who don't know, Ava Chris Tyson, an ex-employee and best friend of Mr. Beast, was recently fired by Mr. Beast himself early last week after multiple leaks revealed that Ava was acting inappropriately with minors and with a person by the name of Shadman, who was an artist who portrayed minors in sexual manner. A few days later, after shit hit the fan, one of the minors from the now deleted Discord came forward and leaked the entirety of the messages from the group, which include dozens of more inappropriate interactions, including some with what appears to be Mr. Beast himself. It's an absolute disaster, and it does not stop there. There's a new person by the name of Muskino who has said that they were SA'd by Ava Tyson, and here is their story. For context, Ava and I are both adults and met each other as adults, so luckily this has nothing to do with any kind of kids or minors. Ava followed me on Twitter in November of 2022 after seeing my transition timelines on Twitter when I had under 500 followers, and it's a pretty long, so long in fact that I will not sit here and read it to you guys. Okay?
Boo!
Okay, I will scroll down and, you know, you can stop or pause the video at any point in time. It's a full book. It's a full novel about their interactions with Ava. I did read the majority of it, and it seems like it was a situation of less of Ava doing something inappropriately, like kind of like aggressively, and more so coercing someone with the fact that they were Ava Chris Tyson from Mr. Beast, and they were working together in a business capacity, you know, that kind of power dynamic going on, but also involving sex kind of situation.
Okay, but you said they were an adult though, so that's not sexual assault. That's the first problem. Let's get that straight and clear out the way. Worst case example, they manipulated you into sexual coercion because you were starstruck and you decided to star fuck. You were starstruck and you star fucked. But that does not mean that they sexually assaulted you. Unless they held your legs apart, you were not into it, and they used force, and you were not into it. Sure, you got taken advantage of. You got taken advantage of. They came to me when I was a wee little 500 account, and they used and abused me. Legitimate. Legitimate. Not taking that away from you. Legitimate. But don't say I was groomed. Don't say I was assaulted. Don't say that if it didn't happen. Say that and it didn't happen, that's cap. I want to constrict people based on things they actually said and actually did. If they didn't do it and they didn't say it, don't say that it happened. If you don't believe it, don't think it, don't say it, don't put it out in the world, and certainly do not repeat that shit for other people to follow along with the words of what you said. Because you know that's not true. And if you know it's not true, why are you repeating it? If you're not willing to lose your career for it, don't say it. That's my opinion. If you're not willing to lose your career for it, don't say it.
Some mixed reviews about what the situation actually took place, but yeah, just another one of those stories. But yes, it was a lot. It's a pretty long story, and it was not too good. Guys, even Ava's own sister came out to speak against Ava and talk about how she's a awful person, saying in this tweet, "I'm his sibling," is what the sister is saying. He, and yes,
transgender slander on my Christian timeline? Do it again.
Used the correct pronoun, told me that he got fully aroused when he secretly stole my female clothes and put them on. He's deluded and disturbed, and it's 100% a fetish. He's narcissistic.
I'm gonna do the dance. I need to kill this rare, and I'm gonna do the dance.
I believe in traveling light.
I'll put this Viridian jewel in my system, and then I'm gonna do the dance. Can I even do the fucking dance? How does it go? How do you fucking do this dance? Not bad, my fan over. One foot, back foot, other foot, back foot. Ding 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 ding. Freaky ass nigga, he's a 69 god. Freaky ass real advantage for secret fraud. Hey, he was on the thought. He's trying to throw it out, trying to shake it like a pot. Back to the news.
And professionals have told him he needs a full psych eval. God dang, that coming from your own sister, that's... Oh, Yeah, that's a lot. Guys, I honestly can't even imagine how many more accounts and more stories we probably are going to have coming forward. I, again, don't think this is the end of it, and I feel like it wouldn't even be the tip of the iceberg if it wasn't for the fact that Ava deleted all of their socials from both Snapchat and Twitter. People just go there and just find stuff in public like a goddamn library. The wild part about all of this is that this avalanche, this snowball that started with Ava is now getting so big that it's now impacting Mr. Beast himself, because people are like, hey, you were their best friend. What happened? Why were you with her this entire time and you didn't say anything about the Discord? You were in the Discord, you knew what was going on, Jimmy, and now people are coming after Jimmy's neck. Speaking of Mr. Beast, it appears his new Squid Game type show that he's working to make for Amazon Prime, I believe currently being recorded in Las Vegas as we speak. He is now currently suffering from multiple allegations from the participants themselves. A YouTuber by the name of Rosanna Pansino has claimed that she has received information from at least 10 to 15 show participants talking about an arrangement of issues that have been happening with the show, including health concerns, lack of food, water, and other basic amenities, unfair playing field for the contestants. Some of the added allegations have to do with health concerns. There's a message here that reads, I was a contestant until the end. I also didn't accept their hush money. They knew it was bad because they also offered to provide therapy sessions using their own insurance, and it wasn't Amazon Prime that called me, it was the Mr. Beast crew. The fact that the nurses at the hospital in Las Vegas are also confirming that all the injuries that happened is proof they did not have to sign an NDA. It was really bad. People were having seizures because they were not getting medication, even though they were promised they would, and it was 100% rigged. They presented it as though the game would be like Squid Game, basically a type of game show where all the games are even playing field. That was not at all the case. All the games were about speed and strength. So only the young athletic males were at an advantage over the women and elderly people that were casted.
But that's not really them trying to make an unlevel playing field to help a specific person. That's you saying, I'm not having a chance to win, and co-conceding. Why are you co-conceding and saying that they're fucking the playing field for you? That's not how that works at all. Look out of here. Fuck me. I just want one green. Thank you.
Still breathing, eh?
Yes, that's some cap. In my opinion, that's some cap.
Make things worse and started realizing they could take out the women without being eliminated. Guys started tackling and hitting women. 2 girls were tackled and passed out on the field and dragged off to continue filming. I saw people with broken bones, stitches, etc. And 5 of us so far have tested positive for COVID. Also, someone was allowed to go in with a pink eye, which of course is also contagious. God damn. Now look, to be fair, okay, Squid Games is just, you know, battle of the best, whether it's physical or mental, right? You know, that's just how it works. When you see these like reality games, there's always someone turning on something. I don't know if you guys watch like The Circle or any of these reality TV shows when there's a bunch of people, but there's always a war when it comes to like man and women, and they create like an alliance, and then it'll be like black people versus white people, and you have the black people alliance and the white people alliance. It's it always happens, but it looks like on this show specifically, I guess the guys were able to weed out all the women and old people in order to increase their chances of winning the prize. This article from Sportskeeda.
That's something that would be recorded and would be on camera. So if they're supposedly packing the field and they're doing it from the corporate position, that's something that they're encouraging, and you'd be able to take them to court on something like that. Not just because of the obvious reasons, but you would be able to prove it. But if they're just working together and they're dumpstering you, that's not a problem. That's a feature of the show you signed up for. It honestly just sounds like coke to me. I'm sorry, it just sounds like coke to me from her.
Bring me back something. There'll be time for that soon.
Basically, I need to see proof from the pudding. I gotta see it. I gotta see it. See it. Gotta see it. If I don't see it, I don't believe it. Because that really just sounds like coke.
It also talks about the fact that they were only given 400 calories a meal and only fed every 12 hours. Food would...
That's drastic. That's definitely not right.
Run out and people would fight over, steal, and hoard food and water was scarce and kept running out as well. I had to sit with a bloody pad for 2 before I could get undergarments in my music pads because I was allergic to regular we were also sleep deprived, only allowed to sleep 3 to 4 hours. What in the hell, fat? What do you mean? Oh my gosh. We all slept on the floor of the stadium in a $10 sleeping bag. There's going further into the unfair playing field for the contestants. This person said they were set up to fail, and when men started tackling people to get them out, nothing was done about it. They were not even eliminated. The game that had to do with the briefcase, it felt literally like Hunger Games. While Mr. Beast is standing on his podium looking down, watching all of us peasants fight for a chance at 5 million. I know it's a game show and it's not meant to be easy, but even with the waiver, it is a company's responsibility to have safety protocols in place to try to prevent injuries. That is not what's happening here. I get that people say it's a game, showing it. It's not meant to be easy. I'm not saying it should be easy, but it was presented to be like the Squid Games, where competitions were not biased and didn't exclusively cater to young athletic. I don't know if we watched the same show, but I'm pretty sure every Squid Game-ish show that I've seen either on Netflix or the Squid Games themselves had to do with you being physical, right? It was mean to people who were not physical, right? The people who made it through without being physical was usually because they tagged onto somebody that was. But yeah, those are the allegations that are currently right now. Rosanna Pansino seems to be covering it in great detail. Rosanna Pansino being an ex-contestant of Mr. Beast's show from a couple of years back. There was a big controversy where she was trying to cancel Jimmy because she felt like that she got duped. I believe instead of getting like 4th place, she got 5th place, and she said that Logan called Paul, got pushed to the top, and George not found. I don't remember. And she's been upset with him ever since. And so yeah, she is definitely leading the campaign of letting people know like how
wouldn't that then give more credence that she's just fucking upset and she's trying to find a way to get relevance off of Mr. Beast? I mean, if you can provide the evidence for it, bro, I'll be right next to you there with you. But I don't know. This seems like a vendetta. This seems like a vendetta. Seems very much like a vendetta. Please, Lord, let the astral spirit flow through me again and grant me with fucking Vol double slash. To me. You son of a bitch, you got my hopes up.
Terrible of a person Mr. Beast is. There's even a video that you guys have been asking me to watch that I still not have time to have. It's like a 50-minute video about Mr. Beast that apparently you can't search in Google that talks about him being a fraud or something, or the way that he runs his games. I still have to look into this one, but it's a lot. There's a lot of information, and the end-all be-all of all of this is that both Ava and Mr. Beast are just under hot fire. It's really bad right now for his brand. He's already responded by talking about firing Ava, but we have to wait to see now if he's going to respond when it comes to these Prime games, or is this something that he has to? Is there something that's going to happen with the investigation that's happened with Ava? Like, it's getting worse and worse for these two. I'll keep you guys posted, but it sucks to see all of this play out. Also, with a palate cleanser, okay, this is gonna make you feel good. This is a nice feel-good story, guys. Okay, let me just put this somewhere in between all the bad news so that you can get some nice recovery. Okay, Crispy has said the return of the king, Chugga Convoy. That's right, the most famous Let's Player in the entire freaking world, probably one of the first big guys to ever have done it. He was getting canceled a couple of months back because of this controversy that happened. That seemed to be a big misunderstanding.
A big controversy, in my opinion.
It also seemed to involve some parties that were deliberately trying to cancel Chugga Convoy, if you know what I mean, without actually having any kind of malicious behind their actions. It was a pretty bad situation for Chugga Convoy, where the entire world was kind of just turning on him. We talked about this in grave detail, and then eventually he absolved himself, explained himself with all parties involved, and now it seems like we're in a place where we can move on. And he's not Ava Chris Tyson, not in that level, okay? Just want to make that very clear, okay? He beat the allegation. But yeah, Chugga Conroy is back to finally making content after months. People didn't think he would ever come back. The theme of this year's Kept Promise, the Wind Waker Nintendo Gallery is out. This man has like 3 new episodes of videos if you guys want to check out some more Chugga Conroy. I had a pretty awesome interaction with Chugga in the first place. He had added me out of nowhere. It was July 26th, a couple days ago. He said, hey man, thank you so much for your videos on me. I can't watch them. It's too much to see people reacting to stuff I went through as a kid. But my mother saw the video and it made her feel better. And happy cry, something I couldn't do myself then. It really meant a lot. I'm sorry, I was stumbling over my words while reading this because I still cannot believe that this is something that, guys, this means so freaking much to me. I responded, I said, man, dude, you're the entire reason why I started YouTube. I'm so glad I was able to pay you back in any way for changing my life and being in this space to change yours. Funny how that works.
Positive explanation, something that happens when journalists actually do their correct jobs. And no hate to Omni, but his voice very much sounds like big streamer voice. Very much, very much, very much. I have to backtrack all the way through the quay because I came through the back door, which means I'm not standing next to where the fucking item is.
Works. So Mama Dukes, I said thank you for tuning in, heart emoji. Yeah, it's very funny and weird and creepy how energy works in this world, man. Watching this guy growing up and all his Let's Plays inspired me to be a Let's Play channel. If you guys go back into the history, a lot of my videos are unlisted now. But if you do enough digging, find another playlist in here, you can find a lot of my old content. For those of you guys who are very curious to know about the relics of the Library of Omni. But Chugga Conroy was the reason why I started making videos in the first place when it came to YouTube. And he was my inspiration. And now I'm in a place where I'm making YouTube videos for a living, to the point where I had to cover this man's news. And I tried to cover it as fair and objectively as possible, and it led to the coverage, what I had to say about it, to leading his mom to cry, and like that energy is crazy how it eventually circled out. If Chugga Conroy didn't make videos, if he didn't inspire me, then I wouldn't be here in this place to help protect that energy. That's why I really feel like, guys, you got to be careful with the energy you put into the world, because sometimes if you put in bad juju will come back to you. Bars. But on the opposite, good juju, good energy, bro. I think I do agree with the concept of putting in good energy into the world, and I feel like this is a clear example of it. You might not see it immediately, but 10 years down the line, I'm over here talking about making content about Chugga Conroy, and it's having an impact on his mom, making him happy. I'm happy. I'm kind of rambling, but this feels good. A lot of people in the comments were like, this is awesome seeing their two goats get together. I feel entirely blessed that I'm in a position to give back in any kind of way and impact the life of the person who created this life for me, to help to institution that. I'm very happy. This is awesome. This is a really good feel-good moment, and I really hope that Chugga Conroy continues to make more content and do what they love, and I can hopefully do the same thing. And I hope that I can inspire you guys at home to make content as well, okay? Because when I get canceled, you can come back and you can protect me, okay? I want a cult, okay? I want to murder somebody sometime in the future, maybe in the next 10 years, and I need you guys to be like, it's okay, it's Omni, he gets a freebie, right? I need that. I need that energy. I put it out enough good juju for me to make one big bad juju movement, get out of jail free card, right? Switch over to another topic. We have now in a debate that I hoped had never ever happened again. Moist Critical, aka Penguin Zero, aka Charlie, was debating with Sneeko a couple of days ago, and people have been saying that both of them have been making terrible arguments. And that was just basically a shit show. And when that happens, that
yes, it was.
Usually means that Sneeko wins. Okay, I was
correct. Sneeko wins.
It's kind of like, no, Charlie debated Sneeko again. As long as Sneeko gets a platform, it doesn't matter if he's telling the truth. It doesn't matter if he gets cooked or not. He will always win. Sneeko's the type of person, as long as he participates in something, he can absorb the clout. But I didn't see the details of the video or the argument. Just a lot of people saying that they both took L's. Purple and Luke saying Sneeko and
I can give you in full revision because we watched it yesterday on air, chat. Everything from children should be allowed to cut off their genitalia at the age of 9. to a clear non-Muslim using Muslim talking points and Muslim culture to hide behind how he just wants to be able to have dirty cream pie sex with girls that he picks up at parties. Everything to do with him is the breakdown of someone who does not understand the responsibility that a person has when it comes to doing things that they get involved in. He clearly does not care. How does one make him care? I don't know how you're going to do that. But the sheer fact of the matter is, the only way to truly handle the problem, as one would, is accepting that there's just no way out of it. Honestly. He was cooked. He's going to be cooked. He lost handedly. He's going to cope about it. The cope doesn't matter. You had bad arguments. You embarrassed yourself. You gave a man an out.
Stay out of the shadows. There'll be time for that soon enough.
And that's the biggest fucking L. Coping is not going to help him. People are going to let him cope. People are going to let him seethe. It is what it is. You let the people who know how to handle the problem handle the problem.
And Charlie debate. Sneeko literally confirmed that he thinks a 25-year-old can date a 15-year-old. He a fan.
Do words need to have definitions?
Yes, and so does the age of consent.
When we use the English language, should the words that we use match the definition of the word?
Yes.
Yes?
Okay.
You're not doing that.
But neither, what, you don't want... Statutory then. We won't use colloquialism.
There you go.
It's
So
statutory rape.
within this conversation, you change it.
What is this? What is this video out of context? This has got to have been a nightmare. There's why did this happen? Oh my god. And also, I don't even know if Charlie is like good at like debating. I know
he's not.
Sneeko is. Like Sneeko might not be the best debater, but he's someone who's had a lot of practice at it. Like you can tear down a lot of people in debates without being smart. As long as you know how to debate, you can use some of the basics and destroy your opponent without knowing as much as they know. It's just you need practice in this field.
If somebody can have, okay, do you believe that somebody can go through hormone therapy? Can they change their gender if they're a child?
I think that's totally fine as long as everyone is consenting.
Okay, so as long as everyone...
Parents are okay.
To recap, the argument was, do you believe that a child supposedly cannot go through the same structure of transition surgery, which is arranged marriages? Do you believe that somebody who would be considered underage cannot go through arranged marriage to the same consideration as going through the steps of transition? Now, Charlie wanted to make the argument, and in his cope stream, he coped about making an argument that he wanted to put forward and stop this, but obviously, as one should know, if you don't say in the debate, it doesn't fucking matter, cope seethe. He wanted to try and stop this rhetoric, but he did not know how to go about it because, quote, he didn't think it would be a debate. So, Sneeko actively set multiple opportunities that he did not recognize he needed to push back on, and gave him and ceded him the ground. And after ceding him the ground, further embarrassed himself on what he was effectively ceding to. And then said I didn't understand that that was what I was supposed to do or that was what was happening. Which just led to the same cycle of what we ended up and are now discussing again here. Which is him not seeing it, not understanding it, not getting it, and effectively being at the mercy of the shit that he didn't see, didn't hear, didn't understand. It looks like I can't go here for the attack speed. It looks like I'm going to have to use the other end. Unless I find a way to justify going a couple of nodes ahead, because I can't justify going to Clever Thief. I want to, but I can't. I want that acuity node. Herbalism wouldn't be that bad either. I can't justify going up these points. I really can't. Fucky, fucky, fucky. No, I can't even justify going to that node. I can't. Where's the leech node? Did they just rip it from the leech node? They did. Wow. They ripped out that leech node full stock, lock, and barrel. Crazy. Every single bit of the debate was pretty much that. Sneeko would get away with something because he wasn't prepared on how to debate him. Charlie would get his shit pushed in, and then he would just act like, I don't understand. I don't really understand how it happens. That's not a part of the society and culture. And then he gets to by Sneeko then saying, well, that's Muslim culture. That's Muslim religion, Muslim culture, religion. And like I said yesterday, I will repeat again here now. The only reason he's allowed to do that is because you're not prepared for what you need to actually say to him in order to handle the problem and deal with this discussion that you're having. Because you're not dealing with the discussion the way that you're supposed to be having it, and you're giving him the ability to have the optics get away from it, he doesn't ever have to take an L on the situation he's causing, because he just gets to sit on that forever. Shit. Pills. There's lich nodes on the path of the attacking nodes. I'm not going after that pill. I remember there being a damaged leeching node that was on the right side of the tree, but it looks like they removed it in place of what they left there, and they basically took that patch out of it. From what I just saw. I'm gonna look again. Because you're probably talking about this, and this doesn't have damage. His attack damage leaches his life, but I'm only using the leech node here. Because this is pretty much all I get to have for attack damage leaches mana, because I don't need both. I can use one or the other, and I think maybe Blood Rage can sustain this 112. But my biggest problem is really mana. But if I don't have enough leech to use the thing and it's gotta be sustained off of my normal, I don't think it's good. But pretty much I would have to wait until passives for that. And it's also where I'm getting my 10% of leeches instant, so have to wait. Either or. It's attack speed I want. And all of this is based on stance basis. It ain't shit. What else do we get? Only attack nodes that I can actually have for attack speed are here. 3, 5, 5, 3, 10, 16 additional attack speed. But then you have to put an extra 2 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extra 1 node. I don't think that's worth it on the node. But I can be convinced to repath it, honestly. If it's the only attack speed that I can get for throwing anything out on this side of the tree, then I have to take my chances. Which sucks, because it's basically why I'm taking Graceful Assault. I hate early pathing. Because I'd probably have to do something like this.
Hello, hello, hello.
Cobra accuracy, projectile damage. And that's like the best I can solve it, but like I just need to get attack speed from somewhere else, and I can drop that. It's better for point expenditure, because then I have to choose between that and that. And if I'm getting it, if I'm not taking up onslaught here for free on kill, then I have to get it from the flask, and then I do this. And then mark mastery for enemies cannot regenerate life, and Bob's your uncle. Better attack speed, but at what cost? That's why I was picking up charges. Either way. Point is, the debate, absolute shit show. Embarrassing. Complete dog shit, no matter what. Looks bad for all parties involved. Cope sneezing. I think we're gonna go with Leaf Slam. Should go with Leaf Slam. Because when it comes to beam phases, I have to have a type of a teleport. Technically, I should use Flame Dash like anybody else would.
Hail, Godslayer!
I need to find space. I need to make space. $37.88. $37.88. Okay. Now we're ready to support Vol Double Strike when I pick it up. Moving on.
Okay with it, and you're okay with it. I think that's totally a family decision. Yeah. Okay, so a child can cut their off and take hormone blockers and change their biology forever, but they can't get married. Well, that's a decision that now extends beyond the family, because now you're bringing in a different party. So if you have someone that's your age coming in saying, I want to marry that child, yep, I don't think that can happen under any circumstance.
So, but it's still a personal decision. You're still deciding. Take the other party out of the equation. It's a personal decision. If I'm 16 and I personally want to marry this girl, she's beautiful, she's 21 years old, her family wants to do it, my family wants to do it. You're saying I can't do that. We're both consenting. I'm ready to go. I'm physically mature, but I'm not allowed to marry because Moy says that woman's a pedophile. But if then the next day I leave it, I'm depressed, I want to cut my off. I can go right into the clinic, snip it off, and start taking HRT like Chris Tyson. That's a society that makes sense to you?
It is. I believe everyone has. I'm talking about your personal beliefs. Do you think someone in their 20s should be able to marry a 15 or 16-year-old? Does someone in their 20s should, I mean, I personally wouldn't do it. I don't know many people who do it. The maturity for people and teenagers in the West is getting much worse, but there are...
Acting globally. Let's just talk globally. Like, do you think it is okay for, and I'm not talking about just you specifically anymore, anyone, do you think it's okay for anyone in their 20s, an adult, to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
A 21-year-old, if there was a marriage where the father consented and the daughter consented, and it was both good on both families and they wanted to do it, why am I going to get involved? Why should we get the government involved? Why would I tell them if everybody's consenting, if everybody's okay with it, the parents are okay with it, if nobody's being harmed, if it's going to be okay, if they're both abiding by the rules and they're not hurting each other, why not?
But they're still, like, they're at best a sophomore in high school. They can't consent to something like that.
Oh my God. Is there...
The choice is made.
It's not a hard question, right? Like, the hoops that we're jumping through here, right? It's a child. It's a child. I don't get it, right? We're talking about...
It's like the same thing again. If a child is supposed to be a child because a child is considered based by the age range, then you start talking about opposite cultures. There are age ranges in countries where people who are considered minors in the U.S. can do things that minors in the UK and in the European states can do. Drive cars, drink alcohol, consume recreational substances, etc., 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 etc. Whereas here in the West, you can't do that until you're 16, 18, 21, and or in some cases, for certain establishments, especially for private establishments, 25 and up. It's just not a cogent argument. And the fact that it's not a cogent argument that is then based on, well, I don't like how it feels, I don't like how it looks, that gives him all the leeway he needs to fucking hold you to the mark and make you basically embarrass yourself by saying, yeah, let a kid cut their dick off, but don't you dare say that they can't transition. It's a stupid position. It's always going to be stupid. It's never going to result in anything other than stupidity. The absurdity of the point is the point. The more you give them the absurdity of the point, the worse you make it for yourself.
Oh, I'm so excited. Stage 1 of the Islandinator can only recombinate weapons. But I'm sure you'll have lots of fun with that. Recombinate. Recombinate. Oh, such a pleasurable word.
I'm out.
I'm here. Place equipment in the recombinator. Like matches with like. The machine will break the objects down into their constituent components, then try to reintegrate them as one fresh new piece. It's simply genius.
Yes. Sentinel League sends its regards.
About children. We're talking about 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds. Why are we giving them agency to do things like marry adults? Why would that be something that's okay, bro? A lot of things could fly if everyone consented. You know, you could do a lot of a range of things. I'm pretty sure the things that happened when Epstein's Island was all consensual, where all the parties were like, hey, we're okay with this illegal shit happening, right? So if you bring in the concept of everyone consenting and all parties being fine with it, yes, you can take a lot of freaking illegal activities that you can do around the entire world and put it under the umbrella of saying that everyone was okay with it. Okay, that's a dangerous trajectory that you want to start going down if you want to just talk about the concept of consent. And then again, if we're talking about the concept of consent, then we're talking about 15-years, okay? That's another gray area. I'm not even going to say gray area. That's just an area that you can't keep going into because kids can't be consenting to a lot of these things. They're just so life-changing. It's a mess. This is an absolute mess of a debate, and I'm pretty sure it was much longer than this. So I'm not going to go to the thick of the weeds, okay? That's Charlie versus Sneeko. I think it was an instant L the moment that Sneeko took this argument. Okay, Sneeko's the type of person, by the way, where he can say, it was like how Andrew Tate when he first came out, you can say a million things wrong. The clock will always be correct at least once every day, and as soon as you hit that moment and strike go, right, people are like, wait a minute, the person that you hate the most just said something that, you know, is incredibly important that you agree with, and so they'll take that one win and just boom and like boast that out. So I think that was Charlie's too much of a behemoth. He's too large to be having some of these fights because then he'll take some of the small collateral damage and so all the small L's will turn into these big L's. But it is what it is. And more news you guys asked me to talk about. Wolfgang saying Trump saying we don't have to vote anymore after this election. There's a lot of you guys in the comments who want to be talking about Project 2024, and this kind of bleeds into it. Okay, Trump saying the quiet part out loud, suggesting that hey man, Christians, you need to come and vote for me because after you vote for me, that's it. You don't have to vote ever again. We're going to set it up where everything's going to be nice and cozy for the rest of your lives. This is the last election you're going to ever have to do because we're going to figure out how to maneuver and finagle some things so that our legacy lives on forever. I know, it sounds kind of scary, but let's listen to this. What he had to say here. Trump has the vision for 2024 and beyond.
And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
What do you mean you're not going to have? He literally said we're going to fix it. So
He's just being Trump at that point. Those words don't mean anything in that context. Well, ultimately, I would have to assume, translating from Trumpisms, go out and vote. It's the only time you're going to have to go out and vote again concerning this election cycle. We have it as such a slam dunk. Just go out and vote. You ain't going to have to vote again. Not because he's going to fix the election again, but, or contest the election again. But, go out and vote. We're going to win so hard, you're going to get tired of winning. It's going to be great. It's going to be good. Y'all finna love the way you finna see this shit. Blah, 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 blah. That's pretty much it. He's basically bragging about how the win's going to be easy.
we don't have to vote no more. Bro, Trump, you're not supposed to say that one out loud, bro. You're supposed to say that with the advisors. You're not supposed to come out and say, hey, man, this is it. This is the last election. After you do this... Where are we? We're in a simulation, guys. How do we have presidential elections and debates where the nominee is saying, I'm the last time that you're going to have to vote, and then after this, you're just going to see me for the rest of your life? This man is literally out here trying to say he's cool. He wants to get to the presidency. He's just not coming down, is what he suggests.
No, he would be saying he's Maduro there, Omni. Over in the place where our homie from the Twitter sphere, Caleb Prime, was able to escape. Maduro, Venezuela, another rigged election. He's still in there for life. He was voted in, but you can't vote out communism.
That's crazy. What does he mean by that? I looked more into this. I was like, there's got to be like context around it. Is he really just giving out the master plan for free for the nation? Hey guys, I'm taking over, and I need you guys to do this so that I can. Guys, Sean McGuire saying this clip is taken out of context. Watch starting at an hour and 40 seconds in. The context is that during his next term, he pushed for secure elections with A, one-day voting, B, paper ballots, C, proof of citizenship, and D, valid voter ID. That's the context that people are saying is what he's saying. I don't know if that's enough context to kind of justify the statement that he's making. Even with this kind of context, it sounds like exactly what we're all hearing, right? Is that this man's just saying, yo, after I'm in, it's gonzo. No one's getting elected ever again. Speaking of the elections, Alcatraz, a lot of you guys want me to talk about this thing that's happened with Venezuelan elections. Alcatraz, hey, Omni, could you talk about the Venezuelan elections that took place this past July 28th? It's a very important moment here. It's been so long since there was such a big movement. Also, give my regards, respect to Pit Pass to Indy. I will. Indy is under the couch sleeping somewhere, so I wasn't able to get him out here to say hi. But yeah, I did hear about the Venezuelan elections. I don't know too much about what's happening with Venezuela, so let's kind of look into it together, shall we? This article from AP News saying Venezuela election as it happened. Maduro declared winner. Gonzalez claims victory. Nicolas Maduro was declared the winner in Venezuela's presidential election on Sunday, even as his opponents were preparing to dispute the results, setting up a high-stakes showdown that will determine whether the South American nation transitions away from one-party rule. As I started reading, it looks like both parties claim that they both won. So this is a situation where they like voting, blah, 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 and somebody's like, hey, it looks like I won, guys. It's time to celebrate. Somebody's like, hey, he didn't win. Oh, now we're going to declare that we won. Is that what's going on with Venezuela? It's a high-stakes standoff after each side claimed a victory in a presidential vote that millions in the long-suffering nation saw as their best shot to end 25 years of single-party rule. Dang, bro. Several foreign governments, including the U.S., held off recognizing the results of Sunday's election.
Oop. There we go. There it is. Even the worst interpretation, the Marxist and me don't see a problem with Trump crowning himself king. Mr. Washington should have done that weird years ago. I don't care, bro. You like it, I love it. But on the conspiracy of monarchy, there needs to be some form of representation for people. But on the topic of the fact that it's just Trumpism, they're really just putting that out there because they're terrified of Trump winning on what is going to be a very easily contestable election.
I want you to know that I share the same concerns. Now let's play along. We are perfectly positioned to wait and watch. The dark underbelly of civilization carries with it truths that cannot be obscured by the might of authority. They're all terrified, whether they admit it or not. We'll speak more on this in person. I don't dare put pen to paper on the topic. What have you got for me?
Must be Faustus talking to us. On that end.
And officials delayed the release of detailed vote tallies after proclaiming Maduro the winner with 51% of the vote to 44% for retired diplomat Edmundo Gonzalez. Quote, Venezuelans and the entire world know what happened, Gonzalez said. On the streets of Caracas, a mix of anger, tears, and loud pot banging greeted the announcement of results by the Maduro-controlled National Electoral Council. Quote, this isn't possible, said Ayori Patron, wiping away tears. This is humiliation. The election will have ripple effects through the Americas, with government opponents and supporters alike signaling their interest and joining the exodus of 7.7 million Venezuelans who have already left their crisis-plagued home for opportunities abroad should Maduro win another 6-year term. Economic sanctions from the U.S. seeking to force Maduro from power after his 2018 re-election, which the U.S. and dozens of other countries condemned as illegitimate, only deepened the crisis. So this is not this first time going wild at the polls. Voters lined up before dawn to cast ballots Sunday, boosting the opposition's hopes it was about to break Maduro's grip on power. The official results came as a shock to opposition members who had celebrated online and outside a few voting centers what they believed was a landslide victory for Gonzalez. Opposition leader Maria Corina Machado said that the margin of Gonzalez's victory was overwhelming. Based on the voting tallies the campaign received from representatives stationed at about 40% of ballot boxes, authorities delayed releasing the results from each of the 30,000 polling booths nationwide, promising only to do so in the coming hours, hampering attempts to verify the results. So this is crazy. Was this a fraudulent election? Are we witnessing corruption? Gonzalez was the unlikeliest of opposition standard bearers. The 74-year-old was unknown until he was tapped in April as last-minute stand-in for opposition powerhouse Machado, who was blocked by the Maduro-controlled Supreme Court for running for any office for 15 years. Dang, so they blocked... They banned the opposition. The delay in announcing the winner, which came 6 hours after polls were supposed to close, indicated a deep debate inside the government about how to proceed after Maduro's opponents came out early in the evening, all but claiming victory. After finally claiming to have won, Maduro accused unidentified foreign enemies of trying to hack the voting system. Oh my lord, bro. Oh, this is bad. Folks, this is not the first time that they have tried to violate the peace of the republic, he said to 200 supporters of the presidential palace. He provided no evidence to back the claim, but promised justice for those who try to stir violence. So, wait, come on, pause. Is this what's happening here for real? Like, if I'm running for president and I've been there for like 24 years, and I come out here and I say, yo, I won. I won, y'all, okay? But also, we got hacked by foreign policies, and that's the reason why it looks like my opponent is winning or might have won, but we got hacked. But I can verify for you, as the person who's been running this country for years and years without any evidence, that we won and we got hacked if it looks like we lost. That's, oh my god. So like, what happens now? Does he just win because he announced it early and he's already in control and power? Like, can you not remove him because he can kind of make the rules and do whatever the hell he wants since he...
Yes, that's what happens, Omni. Communism. It's a fucking monster.
Early has the seizure power. What happens next? From what I'm reading here, it looks like we have to wait to see how this plays out, okay? Both sides of the party here, I don't know if there's got to be a revote. They got to do this all over again. Both sides are claiming victory. It says the U.S. and others are calling for transparency when it comes to the vote count. Maduro's victory will extend the socialist rule if he goes on, but the opposition fouls the fight on. I'll let you guys know, but sounds like somebody is trying to seize and keep control of power for the longer period of time that he has had power. And other people are really pissed off that this is happening because apparently underneath this power, a lot of Venezuelans are not happy with the current rule and the regime that's currently happening. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm pretty sure this is going to have a lot of daily updates of how this evolves with this whole Venezuelan election. I'll keep you guys posted. We finally got an update and a response for the Cody Co allegations. That's right, the YouTuber Cody Co commentary. You guys probably have heard him because we talked to him several times. He was under fire because yeah, he was claiming, well, a person was claiming by the name of Gabby, another YouTuber, that he slept with her knowingly knowing that she was a minor a while back. And now D'Angelo Wallace, people came out to talk about it, and now we've been waiting for Cody Co to respond. Cody Co responded by going around and DJing at other beaches and parties as DJ Cody Co. But it looks like this is the first official statement that kind of talks about Cody Co in the capacity where it says TMG put out a statement saying Cody is going to be stepping down and Noel is going to be eluding TMG Studios. Let's look into this really fast. Noel, I believe, is like his partner in crime. They're like friends. They kind of make content together, and I guess they both own TMG Studios. Every year, as we enter into the next phase of the studio, we want to let you know that Cody will not be involved in the day-to-day operations at TMG Studios. What has transpired over the past few weeks is a personal issue for him, and Cody wants to remove any effect this is having on your professional personal lives and the work you and other hosts have done to make TMG Studios so successful. Noel will continue to lead the team. His top priority remains the life and growth of the studio and his talent. Our audience sees your hard work every week, and we want that to continue. They deserve it. So do you. We built something truly special, and he's committed to keeping that alive and well. Sincerely, Cody and Noel. So Cody has stepped down from the day-to-day operations, but I mean, it sounds like is that just like he's still going to get paid, right? Like he still owns TMG. I'm pretty sure he has ownership of TMG. So like he's just not working anymore. He's going to keep collecting the check in the background. What does this mean? Coming to the TMG Studios websites, they have a podcast here. TMG comedians Cody Co and Noel Miller talk to each other about different things. Brooke and Connor make a podcast. The Zach and Waleed show. So it sounds like TMG Studios is just a company that has ownership of all of these big old podcasts and talks and conversations. And here's Cody Co and Noel right now. And so TMG is apparently just being run by Noel, and Cody Co is stepping back. Pretty vague, but I think we kind of know what's happening here. Cody Co still not responding directly, not with a YouTube video. He's just not saying anything directly. And I'll tell you what, that's not going to be enough. I'm pretty sure this is all they're going to be doing. D'Angelo Wallace and the rest of the commentators we've been talking about, no, they want to keep going in. They want to hear from him personally what he has to say about the situation, personally to be held accountable. Because you can't just come out here and have some company public talk and say that you're stepping down. Like eventually people want to know, yo, Cody Co, you need to explain yourself, homie, because otherwise we're just going to assume that you do terrible things in the background. Again, I'll let you guys know when Cody Co officially responds, but I don't really count this as a response. I count this as like just business jargon to make you guys feel like something's happening when quite literally it's not. Also, an absolutely crazy but not surprisingly here news is that apparently the Olympics was getting canceled. I told you guys, it's wild out here on these streets, bro. The Olympics is getting canceled. What did they do? What did you do? Olympics opening ceremony.
They did something stupid that makes all French people look fucking stupid. And a sheer fucking embarrassment. Mwah. Beautiful.
Taboo sparks controversy among the Christian community. You pissed off the Christians. The opening ceremony's artistic director, Thomas Jolly, confirmed that Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper was not his inspiration for the performance. Oh my god. So there's a performance here, opening ceremony fashion vignette, features drag queens, and they opened the show with drag queens and it pissed off all the Christians. Is that why Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate were out there protesting in front of the Olympics because the open ceremony had drag queens? Oh no, man. How did they not see this coming? This article by Becca Wood here, but for today saying one performance had prompted reactions. The 4-hour ceremony kicked off at the start of the Summer Games, July 26th. That's 3 days ago, with athletes gliding down the river scene and performers reenacting international historic moments. But after we just talked about that controversial drag queens and dancers lined up an image to The Last Supper, following the scene, some called the imagery a mockery and insulting to Christian people. Meanwhile, others found the moment a celebration for the LGBTQ community inclusive. On July 28th, Paris 24 spokesperson and Scamps apologized that people had taken any offense. Quote, clearly there was never an intention to show disrespect to any religious group. On the contrary, I think the artistic director Thomas Jolly really tried to celebrate community tolerance. The Scamps said at a press conference, we believe that this ambition was achieved. If people have taken any offense, we are really sorry. Okay, I got it. So we had the gays. The gays. You guys were out here imitating the Bible? And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm making fun of it, okay? But like, yeah, that looks like that's what's happening. Wait, that wasn't the end of it, okay? In one scene from the opening ceremony, a dinner platter lifted to show a mainly nude Katarine singing in French. In the background, dancers and drag queens stuck poses along a long table. Oh no, somebody got caught being naked. Oh no. The official X account for the Olympic Games shared photos of the moment and referenced Dionysus, I think it is, Greek god of winemaking, fruitful, and ecstasy. Really good.
Dionysus.
Oh god.
Say it right.
Like Hades 1 and 2, always good. The interpretation of the Greek god Dionysus makes us aware of the absurdity of violence between human beings, and this is Dionysus right here. Hades 3 looking absolutely crazy already. LDR looks like the Olympics are getting canceled because they use drag queens to portray an image that happened in the Bible with the Last Supper and made the Christians big baby rage mad. So yeah,
why are you making fun of them? Like that's not something that's discussed. The Olympics is supposed to be a celebratory event that brings bring the nations together to compete in sports. Even if in the past there's just like what happened, not the one that was hosted by Germany that had Nazi flags. Okay? And they were sanctioned for that. And then all the other times for any other event that's been hosted by any of the places for the Olympics. Last time it was Japan. Japan handled it correctly, and all they did was play video games. Send it over to the EU and France. The motherfuckers are making travesties of symbology, general symbolism, and making extremely audacious political imprecations for no other reason because you want to. That's not good. That's not good at all. They put them all in for Shaken Masters. That's weird. Is there anything here that I don't already have that I want to put in? Set in the locker. Seed stockpile. Patrol totem. I gotta put my shit in for fashion. Move him a little closer to the left. All of them. To the right, actually. And do I have good essences? I don't. No delve uses. No usable attack gloves. Until I have double strike, my main hand weapon doesn't matter. But I don't think my attack speed matters either unless it's something that gives me global attack speed. Iffy. Okay.
I don't know how this was not a surprise. Like, I saw this coming like 1,000 miles away, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's wrap things up. Okay, we'll talk about me and some other small things as well that kind of like rinse your palate of a lot of the nonsense that's happening and the noise. Senpai, we'll say, talk about what anime you like so far, please, this season. There's only 3 anime that I'm watching from this season, by the way, if you guys are watching the summer anime. One being from this picture that I took here, Shika Noko Koshintan, I think is the name of it. It's about a girl who is a deer. She has a deer clip.
Please. Lord have mercy. If you guys are going to talk about animes and you can't pronounce and you're not confident in pronouncing the Japanese title, please just use the transliterated Romanized English. Please. I'm begging you. Please. From the weeb in me. Please.
Well, it's pretty funny. Tower God 2, season 2. I've been watching and staying hip from that. And there's another anime that I'm watching about a guy who's like 32, and apparently he's like crazy strong and invincible, right? He wanted to be an adventurer, but he thought it was too late, and then he got trained, and now he's extremely powerful and OP right now. Those are the only 3 summer animes that I think I'm watching. If you guys think I should watch any more, let me know. But so far, I've been enjoying all 3 of them. It's a nice little rotation for the summer anime until we get like a lot coming in for the fall and the winter. Apparently, Robert Downey Jr. has announced that he is going to be Doomsday in the upcoming Marvel movies. What the hell do you mean that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Dr. Doom? What do you mean, bro? This is Iron Man, bro. This is like if Chris Evans came out and announced that he was going to be Kang. Like, what? Okay, the recast, there's got to be a reason, right? Maybe it's because maybe Dr. Doom is a variant of Iron Man in another universe. A variant of Iron Man is Dr. Doom. That's the only thing that I can probably think of how they're going to spin this. But Robert Downey Jr.
Same thing that I said. And I was fucking upset at Jay for telling me that shit. Oh boy. I was mad as hell when she told me that. Because the thoughts went through my head and I'm like, no. 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 No, 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 no.
Jr. coming back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe after we saw him die. Tony Stark is absolutely wow. There's a clip of it right here where it says, yeah, he'll be starring in Doomsday. That's crazy. That's crazy. Tony Stark, what are you doing up there? Marvel said, look, I know Kane, the whole thing got canceled with Jonathan Majors and everything. I know it looks like superhero movie fatigue is happening, and you know, you guys don't like superhero movies anymore, so we're gonna have to bring back Tony Stark. Okay, we're bringing back Robert Downey Jr., we're bringing back Chris Evans, Captain America, okay? Everything that made you guys want to fall in love with the Avengers, we're just gonna bring them back, because that seems to be the only thing that you guys care about. Ever since, I think it was Avengers 2, a lot of people have felt I was called like superhero movie fatigue, because they kept making all of these spin-offs of all of these heroes, and they felt like the movie quality was just not good. We were just getting all of these random superheroes with TV shows and movies, and it just did not feel like it was capturing the same magic that was before. And now they're going to be recapturing it, literally by recapturing the actors that made you fall in love with it in the first place. I can't say that's not a bad movie. Speaking of superhero movies, I'm gonna say this for the last segment because I wanted to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. What are your thoughts on it? No spoilers. I'm gonna have spoilers, but I'm gonna save it at the end. But if you guys don't know, Deadpool and Wolverine, again, the movie just came out, and it is apparently like the top grossing superhero movie of all freaking time. I lied, not.
I'm going to skip this because they're just going to spoil this for me, and I don't want to be spoiled until I sit down and watch it myself. And they killed us back, then I can skip ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry to those who are there, but I don't want to be spoiled on this fucking film. I'm trying to do everything I can to avoid it. Hello, Katava's helmet. Okay. Oh, that's actually the end of the topic, so that we can just get the video there. Ugh. Because I cannot do it. I cannot do it. Moving towards, Mr. Beast's team is imploding worse and worse from upper echelon.
Alright, spontaneous video this time, less preparation, because this right here needs to get roasted. For anyone who doesn't know, a video came out somewhat recently from someone who claims to be a former employee of Mr. Beast, and that video contains about 53 minutes of content. Too long, didn't watch, that's totally fine, because I did my own summary breakdown, which I'll link down below in the description with legal examples and full description about the more meaningful ones. Again, links down below. But since all that happened, another member of the Mr. Beast team has come out with a statement, and that statement is absolute, irrefutable garbage. It fails to address literally any of the important issues whatsoever, and yet another example of how to irreversibly screw up your own public reputation, speedrun edition. Just to clarify, this is yet again not a video about Ava Chris Tyson, that's a whole separate problem. There's a lot of really intense issues coming out with regards to all that, and inappropriate behavior, and Discord servers, and private messages, Jimmy's involved, and this goes on. For me, the concept of running illegal lotteries, falsifying game show results, breaking the law is a lot more immediately interesting when it comes to the world's largest YouTuber, who is renowned across the planet for his incredible generosity, despite the fact that every single bit of it appears to be for personal gain, nothing more. Anyway, the video came out from a former employee who claimed essentially three separate things. First, the game show videos are manipulated, directly impacting the integrity of the competition. Second, physical products, namely Equals chocolate bars and working into lottery tickets than actual merchandise, directly targeting children, which is a pretty severe ethical quagmire. Third, during his t-shirt signing live stream events, the team is frequently offering illegal lotteries, which are either not paid out properly or otherwise violate heavy rules and regulations regarding sweepstakes law. In essence, the method by which Mr. Beast has risen to fame and fortune is intrinsically predatory, as it leverages child psychology for maximum profit. Pretty intense allegation. Adding this in post-script because I just noticed there was 5 hours of one of these live streams where they were doing all this stuff that was still up on Facebook, and now, after all of the news of this broke, they went and took that down too. So they are running around trying to pull every single clip of footage of the stuff that they did, including this one on Facebook. Yeah, that probably says something. What do you think? Well, in my own video, I discussed a couple of those same examples, like rigging a competition between boys and girls by directly using the more skilled players on the boys' team in order to skew the results blatantly on camera. Before going back to some of the more hard-hitting infractions, I want to read and discuss a statement made by Chuck, who appears to be a high-level Mr. Beast team member, who has taken it upon himself to debunk these allegations with one of the worst responses you can possibly imagine. Normally I just make bullet points or summarize, but for this one I'm going to go point by one by one. Quote, I quickly want to debunk some of the info in this video since the guy who made it was on my team. It was my decision to fire him for erratic behavior. He worked at the company for less than a month and wasn't an employee for most of the videos mentions have knowledge on. There's so much in this video, I want to specifically address him saying our videos were fake or staged, because this is not true, and I was on set for many of those videos. Okay, alright, cool. Let's hear it. Quote, you won't get in a video unless you're family or friends with someone that works at Beast. This is a wild statement that can easily be proven wrong. There's probably hundreds or thousands of people who have no affiliation to friends / family with these employees. Think of 456 people in Squid Game, ages 1 through 107. Jimmy doesn't more than like a dozen people, LOL. Response? Sure. In the grand scheme of this YouTube channel, Mr. Beast can certainly point to a multitude of examples where people that aren't directly on or affiliated with the production team were part of videos. There were other creators, there's verified instances where a few random fans were chosen for things or won very large sums of money. But here's an example of what that looks like.
I don't believe this is real. It is, man. This is crazy. But this is only a small percentage of what I don't even know how I'm going to spend all this. This is unreal.
They gave this man 24 hours to spend $1 million. He did, while they cracked jokes about how rich he is and all this other stuff. But a few years later, he came out and said this.
He did help me financially, but like giving me money for, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, that's why I'm kind of worded differently, but he did give me
fun, but I just wish instead of like just, it's okay to get fun, but to help me invest, help me be able to be stable on my own without as much money. So that's probably one thing I would do different. The best example I can give you is when we had friends out the house and stuff. I literally had an hour. He had somebody come to my house. So we sat down and we planned all this in an hour. Yeah, they came to my house and we planned this out in about an hour. So I wish I would have had time, and I wish I would have did a couple things differently at the time, which I guess I really couldn't help because I had to spend it. I had to spend the money and I had to like do it.
Yeah, there's this thing called sudden wealth syndrome. It's a psychological phenomenon where people who don't typically have a lot of money suddenly acquire a very large amount of it, and then proceed to make impulsive, irrational, or self-detrimental decisions, leaving them as bad or worse off than they were before at the end of it all. A lot of people probably know this because when someone wins the Powerball or the lottery or whatever it is, they oftentimes end up being broke within a short span of time because they're making really strange decisions with sudden wealth syndrome. Mr. Beast gives out all this money, but he intentionally condensed the timeline for this winner to a point where he had zero hope of rational decision making. For the sake of pushing YouTube content, he completely destroyed any chance that this man had of having a truly responsible outcome, which would involve hiring.
And that is the fucked up part about that situation. Because even if you want to say who is trying to do something good with the money, and how can you criticize him for that? Because it doesn't lead to a good outcome. You should know better. These are things that he should be aware of. Anybody would know that, especially when you offer it for that, which is why probably one of the most unethical things you can do is try to make money by telling people to follow your channel, go do this, go do that, and that they have to follow you and do shit for you in order for them to be able to be blessed for that upbringing and with that blaze up.
My spirit is spent.
Financial planner, setting up a retirement fund, investing in diversified assets, etc., all of which takes time. Intentionally disallowed that from happening. For the sake of making the video more exciting and more clickable for the Zoomer kids hoping to get rich someday off of him, he funneled this winner into a pathway of completely irresponsible decision making. And I think we need to acknowledge that when we're discussing the random people who go on these game shows trying to win it big. Anyway, reading on. Next claim. Quote. The train track was CGI, the bus wheels were CGI, the pit is fake. He acts like he's exposing us for using CGI to make backgrounds look cool when we've done multiple public behind the scenes videos with So Crispy showing this. It's clearly not a secret. On top of that, we did drive buses in that pit, and same with the train that you claim we did. End quote. That part, in my opinion, is totally fine. I didn't raise that point in my own coverage because I think it's incredibly weak. Editing things so that the bus wheels look like they're spinning is relatively harmless, and doesn't strike me as a point that needed to be emphasized at all. Fair response, but not even one of the more important details. Reading on, the raccoon was a paid actor. I don't even know what to say about this. Clearly not an actor at all. End quote. That was a joke. The guy.
The raccoon? Did they really say a raccoon? That's a little heinous.
Was making a joke. Responding to the joke as if it's serious is the hallmark of someone who actually can't respond to any substance. I'm sensing a pattern here. Badly. Quote, island costs more than $1. Not true. We did pay $1 for this island. You can Google Mr. Beast purchases Outer Banks Island for $1, which stated this before the video was released. End quote. Yes, fact check, true. The island was sold for $1 with $27 in other taxes and fees afterwards, but that same island is now being leased back to the original owners. Not sure what to make of it, but fine. Island got sold for $1 as a gimmick. He's doing all right so far. Not the worst response ever, but he's not responding to anything of substance at all. Quote, he moved into a mansion 2 months before being in a video, $1 million mansion. He talks about how 2 months before we filmed the first Mac video that he moved into a mansion. Mac was staying at a friend's house, and I'm not sure how that proves anything or why it's relevant. End quote. That's not even a response, that's worthless, but also the initial claim is somewhat irrelevant as well, because this whole who works on the team and when storyline just doesn't matter. It's not hard-hitting. Moving on. Quote, this wink was added in post. Bruh, he really did wink. This is a flat-out lie again. End quote. Maybe. I don't know. Not a good look if the wink is real and it's one of the things he's claiming was added in post. If that's just a factual discrepancy there, again, not good, but none of this matters. Chucky is picking around the edges. He's not even pretending to address a single thing that matters. Down below, here he goes again, hyperfixating on stuff that means absolutely nothing. I'm actually going to skip this because it's a waste of mine and everyone else's time. But then finally, Chucky says something that matters, about something that matters, and completely blows up his own response. Quote, not only were the results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers. He claims our 100 boys versus 100 girls video is scripted, and the proof is a random text saying it is, that's it. It was not scripted. Jimmy probably had countless people on set for that video, and it would have been impossible to hide. This video was not scripted. I was on set for this, and there was no bias for who won. He also implies the video is fake because we have some employees on each team. The employees in the video were there to fill in for people who tested positive for COVID last minute right before filming. Thea, Jimmy's girlfriend, mentioned this on the podcast over a year ago. If it wasn't for COVID, they would have not been in it. They had the same dollars on the line as everyone else. Some random text of someone thinking it was rigged doesn't mean it's rigged, lol. End quote. There it is, right there. He completely destroys his own response, and let's showcase precisely why. There is no bias for who won. Wrong. Chucky, you are wrong. This is a lie. During that challenge, there was a twist where whichever team could solve 100 Rubik's Cubes first would be fine, but the loser would have their circle that they had to stay inside cut in half, directly influencing their ability to win the challenge overall. You can quibble about how much that change impacted their ability to win overall, a little bit or a lot, but it did impact them. During that Rubik's Cube event, let's call it, Mr. Beast identified publicly that there was just one boy and one girl able to solve the cubes. He makes a whole big deal of it, actually. But then, again, right in the video, he says, we're going to make things interesting and offer the one guy in there who knows how to solve them $10,000 to leave the video, which he does. The boy leaves, the team is then quite obviously unable to continue competing in that event with any real chance of completing it, and Mr. Beast goes across to the girls' team and says, quote, I paid the one guy who knew how to solve them to leave. Now, if you don't win, that was all for nothing, so win for me. That's called bias, Chucky, you fucking moron. Also, enough, it's a violation of 47 USC 509, which states it shall be unlawful by means of persuasion, bribery, intimidation, or otherwise to induce or cause any contestant in a purportedly bona fide contest of intellectual knowledge or intellectual skill to refrain in any manner from using or displaying his knowledge or skill in such contest, whereby the outcome thereof will be in whole or in part prearranged or predetermined. End quote. And the girls did win the overall challenge. Meaning that the only real question is whether or not the world's largest YouTube channel, with hundreds of millions of followers and views, is governed by broadcasting laws, or if they are somehow immune to the governing regulations of game shows, traditional game shows, despite having a larger audience and higher prize money than any other similar program.
Which is probably the thing that should have been better communicated when discussing this concerning the allegations that were brought up from the Omni video from the person that I said sounds like she's trying to get an edge in because she was jealous. If this had been how they presented it, it would have been an entirely different situation. Surprise, surprise. You would hate it less if it was a surprise. I mean, honestly. But we live in that age where nothing can be a surprise. Everybody has to know about the shit. Which is unfortunate. What can you do?
To be fair, that question can actually be debated heavily. But what can't be debated is the fact that Mr. Beast directly influenced the challenge and the winning team in a biased way, openly, which in part affected the results. Point blank, period, Chuck. The rest of the response is more useless garbage. He doesn't even make a passing attempt at refuting anything of substance, and the entire thing boils down to a simplified claim that the other guy's lying. Mr. Beast hasn't done anything wrong. But from where I sit, this is a pretty stunning example of someone doing things wrong that are predatory and unethical, as the metaphorical levee breaks and the world kind of wakes up to the fact of who they are and what they do. Actually, the final outro is worth reading, and it goes like this. Quote, Jimmy spends unfathomable amounts of money and time to ensure the integrity of what he does, and I hate to see it come into question with a bunch of lies. Dawson, if you leave this up, then you're a hypocrite, end quote. But from where I sit, it is painfully clear that Mr. Beast's competitions have zero integrity. He openly manipulates the results in a multitude of ways. There's many, many more examples. I told some of them in the prior video, which again is linked down below. But yeah, there's a bunch of examples. This debunking response is completely worthless, and the real substance of the initial video itself has nothing to do with just editing the videos. The real substance is selling merchandise on a live stream while you tell everyone someone who buys a shirt in the next 5 minutes will get thousands of dollars in the package, which causes people to spam by your t-shirts, which you profit from. And then when the 5 minutes are over, you say, wait, don't we owe someone money? Okay, someone who buys in the next 30 seconds will get the money in their order, thus invalidating the purchase of anyone who bought the shirt during those first 5 minutes to have a shot at winning prize money because you changed the rules. That is, in no uncertain terms, illegal, okay? And it's further emphasized by the deletion of those live streams because they know it's illegal and they didn't want to face consequences for their predatory behavior and gimmicky, horrible tactics. The Mr. Beast team is falling apart. Ava Chris Tyson is now a full-blown multi-viral scandal that just keeps on getting worse. The predatory reality of how they organize competitions and merchandise was not debunked. It was made exponentially worse by another employee now saying there is no bias and Jimmy spends unfathomable amounts of money to ensure the integrity of what he does. But again, the atmosphere I see is one where a channel that pretty much always exploited people, hiding under an extremely thin and very disingenuous veneer of, but we give it all away, we're so charitable, while they get filthy rich off of underage gambling and people's desperation in the background, is now losing public support. I think it's deserved, but time will tell. That's it. Not sure if I'll cover the Ava Chris Tyson stuff. It's got about as much public scrutiny as humanly possible right now anyway, so it's not like I bring anything unique or new to the table, but this angle seems to be quite a bit less well known, so it felt worth it. If you want to support the channel, there's links down below, a special VPN deal, locals and Patreon, and more, but I'll cut it there and stop it. So thank you all for watching, question everything, and have a nice night.
Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Fortunately, that is pretty much everything I needed to cover live on air. And I'm not gonna hold y'all. You will see me after 5-ish. Goodbye, chat. Remember, don't go out to the store to go find Carl if you can have some Carl at home. And I'll see y'all motherfuckers later for Carl After Dark.